stop trying to get that kill onto Alessandro, getting dangerously low. I'm not sure if Kieran is going to be able to keep him alive. And Aaron's able to get that kill, putting Team Cactar in the lead.
That was good.
All right, welcome everybody. This is MogTalk, a show based around discussing Final Fantasy XIV, whether it be Chukba Racing or Savage Raiding. I'm your host, Frosty Bongborn, and today we are discussing the current state of PvP. And today I also brought on four expert guests to discuss it with us. 4 of you guys. First, we have Herp. Herp, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and your experience with PvP?
Oh, yeah. I've been playing since season 1. I've been playing since launch of PvP, actually, back in the secure days. But yeah, I've seen it all, man. I didn't do light party though. But, yeah. I focused mostly on the solo queue because that's where the salt's at. Yeah.
You made a good decision not focusing your efforts into light party.
Yeah.
Can't do it anymore. Matter. All right, next we have King Stefan here. Stefan, you mind telling everyone about yourself a little bit?
Yeah, I am King Stefan, or now known as Stefan de Lumiere. I was the 2016 FanFest champion. I play mainly healer in the Feast. I've been playing a little bit like in a Realm Reborn PvP with Secured Wolf's Den, but mostly starting with the Feast. And was rank 1 light party season 1. And placed in the top 100 and top 30 in both queues every other season.
All right, awesome. Next we have here +1.
Hey, my name is +1. I was the creator and organizer of the 2017 Aether Cup, posted at twitch.tv/Aether Cup. Also one of the winners of the 20 Fan Festival Feast Tournament with on here. And other than that, I make a lot of music, which you can check out at +1.com, and play a lot of PvP.
Nice. There we go. All right. And then finally, not last, but finally, Mateo. How you doing?
I see how it is. Well, I'm Mateo. I'm actually in-game known as XYXX. It was Mateo for a while. I started playing the Feast in season 3, middle of season 3. Approximately, but I've been into Final Fantasy PvP with the start of Secure. Mostly, I play a variety of roles, but most of my strength is in melee, mostly monk. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's actually really awesome. I just want you guys to introduce yourself for the few people who are maybe watching the show that don't know who you guys are, because I think you guys are people know you in the PvP community, right? They have an idea who you are.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's not like I just brought on 4 random people to talk about PvP here. Like we got Stefan, who will wear this around his neck, I'm pretty sure, for the rest of his life. At the NA 2016 FanFest, he won the championship there.
Yeah.
It was so awesome.
+1 did too.
+1 did as well. And
a Trace.
And a Trace.
Well, he's not here.
And Slib.
Yeah, but they're not here. Not here to talk. It's okay.
Yeah, but still, shout out to them.
Yeah, for sure. That was, I think your, what was your name? It was Hi, I'm New. Is that right?
Hello, first time.
Hello, first time. Okay. Perfect. That was when we could talk in Feast.
Yeah.
So that made a lot more sense then.
Such a long time ago.
Yeah, such a
long time ago.
Yeah, it does.
And then Mateo, he was also organizing the Aether Cup here with +1. You guys did a wonderful job with that. I am so happy that you guys did that, and hopefully we can start doing it in the future too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll just
We're looking forward to bringing it back.
Thanks for supporting that, by the way, Frosty. Your contribution was very valuable.
Yeah, when I came on the mic, I was like, hey, are we live?
Yeah, that was... That's all right. It's all right.
And then we got Derp, who everybody knows for his own reasons. Why do people know who you are, Derp?
Who's this dad, man? Gonna put you in the tea bags and shit, man. My stomach's Yo.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Nice tits!
Nice. Just like that.
Perfect. All right. But besides all that, guys, the reason why I'm wanting to do today's show is I want us to talk about PvP and kind of where it is currently. The direction for where it seems to be going with the expansion. So whether you guys are a PvP vet, whether you are someone just kind of getting into PvP a little bit and just want to hear people talk about it, or you're just curious how PvP is right now. Maybe you've never even PvP'd in this game, but you just want to see what the world is there. This is the show for you right now. Feel free to answer, or no, we are going to answer, sorry. Feel free to ask questions in the chat throughout the show. You can answer them too if you want to. But Carrara will be collecting them throughout the show, and we can just either we'll answer them at the end, or if they're extremely relevant and I notice it at the time, we'll ask them at the time as well. But I do want to start off with this conversation because I mean, I've heard lots of bad things about PvP. I've heard lots of good things about PvP. I actually asked on Twitter a second ago here if people thought that PvP was improved, and every single response was yes. So it's really not bad. Although a lot of people have been putting some bad stuff out there. But to start the conversation, I figured it'd be good to talk good. So I want you guys to tell me how you feel about PvP in Stormblood so far. And Herp, I'm going to have you start us off again. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me your thoughts.
So my thoughts on PvP right now. So pretty much exactly what I thought it was going to, well, not almost exactly, but pretty much what I thought they were going to accomplish. Because, you know, when they were talking about the consolidated combos and all this stuff, and that's when everyone, the first part of the salt was that, oh my God, consolidated combos, no. And then I was like, well, I mean, there was a lot of freaking PvP abilities and all that stuff. So when they consolidated, it makes it easier for people to just jump in, you know, and figure it out and learn it. So the point of that is it's easier accessibility. And then on top of that is just like the queues are great. It's still fun. I honestly, I love it. I love the changes. It does need improvement, but it's awesome, man.
Okay. All right. +1, what are your thoughts, dude?
Okay, so there's a few things I like, and then a few I think can definitely be improved upon. Starting with what I like, I think for Frontline specifically, new system makes it a lot easier for newer players to get into. Mm-hmm. If I bring someone along that hasn't PvP'd before or has very little experience, I don't have to sit there for an hour trying to explain like all these abilities, all these mechanics, how to play their job, how they should react, this and that, just for it to go right over their head. Like, I think now it's pretty easy to figure out by yourself in a short amount of time, like what you need to do, which is good for casual play. Mm-hmm. But I think for serious play in raided modes like the Feast, in some ways the new system isn't as suitable at the moment as the previous one was. But I think with some further adjustments and some small new additions to the battle system, I think we get back to...
I feel like you're cutting in and out. I feel like
it definitely is.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like automatically adjusting your mic or one of those settings. Yeah. So maybe check your audio settings real quick, +1. I do agree with you though. Okay. I do agree with you that it is really easy to get in certain jobs. It's very easy. The entry point is really low. And I think that everyone can kind of speak towards that being a super positive thing at the moment. But while we're waiting on +1 to finish up that mic issue, I do want to go to Stefan. Stefan, you want to tell me kind of your early impressions of Stormblood PvP?
Yeah,
oh my God, he's God.
Rip +1.
Rip the cameras. Okay.
So yeah, basically I was really skeptical going into it. Because, you know, when they showed us the changes and said that they're going to be taking away a lot of it, I didn't really trust them to do it right, and they have for the most part. So like the first few days, I thought it was really great. I thought it was an awesome change, but I think the downside of it is that they took away a lot of the complexity, which makes it easier to get into, but it also makes it like really easy to master. There's not a lot to the game anymore, so the gap between the ceiling and the floor was closed, which I don't really agree with. I think the floor should have been brought up, but I always think that there should be a high ceiling, at least for some of the jobs. So I think it has less depth now, but overall, I think that it was a positive change to the old system, just because more people are doing it.
Okay, Mateo, what's your thoughts?
You know, one thing that I actually heard a lot of people say is those, Herc mentioned it at the beginning, it's those consolidated combos. Everyone was just really, really worried about that. My first thought was, okay, you know what? They're going to let us choose certain actions to put into these combos. I mean, they haven't, of course, we know that, and that's fine. The way that they worked out is kind of cool. I actually wanted to kind of implement that for myself in PvE. I felt it would have been pretty nice, right? Stefan said it best as well. You know, it's the floor and the ceiling, I feel, should be a little bit more separated. The depth is not quite as there as we'd like it. But that being said, I personally haven't really played high level matches yet, like custom matches and things like that. So I haven't really had a chance to experiment too much in that area. But the accessibility factor is really, really nice. I mean, you look at the gear, you know, you look at the levels, and you look at all these abilities. Like +1 said it really. He said you don't have to spend an hour trying to explain something to someone, and he was not exaggerating. I mean, like for example, I had a PvP relic. I had like 3 PvP relics, and the first thing I did was like change it back. I was like, okay, these are PvE relics now, and fucking Omega. Pardon me.
Okay.
But yeah. Pardon my French.
No, it's good.
But yeah, it's nice, you know, just to be able to go in there wearing whatever you want, even if it's just your weapon, and you're good to go.
So I want to talk about some of those points, because those, we all kind of, I guess, harped on the fact that it's a lot easier to get in there. Right now, before PvP Stormblood, I could play Paladin. Like I was okay with Paladin. Like I can do okay with Paladin. I can make things happen sometimes with Paladin. I was afraid to touch like healer. I was afraid to touch other jobs. I did a little bit of machinist, right? But like it got to a point to where I was like, I'm never gonna play these other jobs because I can't get into that depth. I played white mage the other day, and I knew pretty much everything I needed to know after looking at it for a few seconds. And that's pretty insane. That I can jump between different jobs now. Like I actually feel confident. I'm like, hey, I want to play Dragoon today. I'll look at Dragoon, I'll assort the abilities, and then I will just play it. And I feel like I'll do well. Do you guys feel like that's the same?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So is this is good for fun, right? But it's kind of scary because anyone can play anything now almost if you have an idea about what you're doing. Veteran PvP players can literally play any single job. And I think... Does that worry you at all, or are you fine with it?
I think, you know, that yeah, it can play any single job, but we have yet to see any diamond or platinum tier games. That's where, like, I feel like where the threshold or whatever the thing is, where we'll really see like where the new system, how it really affects high level play.
So I'm kind of curious where you guys feel like skill lies right now. If it's not understanding the abilities and understanding how your job kind of can work in PvP, because it kind of gets laid out a little bit easier, where does skill get built from?
A lot of the same places. It's just easier to tell now. So like tracking crowd control diminishing returns, doing your proper rotation at the right times, keeping track of enemy cooldowns and your own cooldowns. So for example, like knowing when to burst the healer when he doesn't have safeguard and when the paladin doesn't have, you know, oath for the cover. So things like that, because class knowledge now, it's like you said, it's so simple. It's like that's sort of taken out.
But actually seeing what people are doing and being able to react properly to what they're doing. Yeah, and what has happened already in the match. Instead of just like, I know this ability stunned something, but you have to pay attention and know, hey, I can't stun this person because he was stunned a second ago. Or I stun them, and then I have someone else with me that has an ability to do something else. Then we could do a rotating CC. That stuff will start to get a little bit better in skill. right? And that's rough because CC is rough. Like I think when we were talking about CC before Stormblood happened, we were like, are we going to be able to CC? Mm-hmm. But now you can CC all the time.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah. It's insane seeing a 12-second diminishing return. Because if you have, 4 3-second CCs, they could be permanently CC'd, couldn't they?
Well...
But I mean, I guess it counts as like a CC in itself by having to use the ability because it's kind of takes 3 seconds for an ability, 2.5, whatever. Right?
Somebody brought it up, actually. I don't remember where we were actually discussing this, but like a Paladin can do 2 forms of CC. You have your stun, which is, I think, 3 seconds, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. And then you have your silence, which is, by the way, it's ranged now for Paladin, so that's a... yeah, anyway, awesome. I have my opinions on that. Okay. Don't laugh, Frosty.
No, I think it's great.
I see you. Yeah. That's a 2-second silence. And then you can do, like, for example, you have a Black Mage or... whatever you have, they can do their sleep. I think they can do it first. Essentially, you can do your sleep, and then you can do your stun, then your silence. That's a good, I think, like 3 + 3 + 2. You have a pretty good CC chain there. By the time you're kind of done through it, the sleep DR will have worn off, and you can just kind of keep going. And it takes a lot of effort to set up. But I mean, I think that's what's going to make those. Yeah, go ahead, man.
I think Paladin alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, let me know if I'm cutting out again at like any moment. Just feel free to interrupt. 3-second silence. 3-second stun into 2-second silence, like Mateo said. That's 5 seconds of CC, which you can do every 10 seconds. Stun and silence don't have a cooldown. Like that to me is like a little bit excessive. I think that should definitely be looked at.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as Stefan said too, it's more frequent CC. The chains aren't necessarily as long as they were before, but in the previous system we had a 60-second DR. Now it's only 10 seconds, so a lot more frequent.
I think the frequency is what's going to really kill people because you're going to have to stutter heal. Like
pretty much
healers, they have to plan this that they're going to be stunned for a little bit, so they have to get everything out of their system. And I gotta say, man, I was afraid to play White Mage, but I'm loving White Mage so much. I don't know why, but in PvP, it's been so much fun.
Yeah, it is.
And I do no damage. I don't ever stone. What is that? I don't care. I just heal everyone. And it feels tons of fun. And getting to Colleen, I'm like, I've won this game already. I don't care. I got the Colleen. I win. I'm done.
Freaking first thing that Frosty tells me is like, we're talking about Frosty talk, the mod talk. He sends me a message. He's like, +1 is coming too, and I just beat his ass in the feast match. I was like, what the hell?
No, it was Stefan. It's
Stefan. My bad. He's like, yeah, he had a stacked team, and he was so happy of himself. He's like, I was White Mage, and I beat Stefan. So funny.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I was playing Machinist too. I forget what did I kick your ass with, Stefan? Do you remember?
Oh my god.
You're Machinist. Yeah.
And that's amazing. I love this now. It means that I can always get into a PvP match and have fun because I know what I'm doing and I can cheat the queue. Like, you guys used to play healer because the queue was better, right? That's the main reason why you may have gotten into healer before. And that now I can just go to healer anytime I want to. And I was actually playing Machinist and getting insta queues the other day. The queues are different.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. So you can, if you're like sitting there and you're waiting for PvP to happen, just be good at a different job or a different role, and you'll probably get in immediately. And I love that at the moment. But okay. So let's start talking about. We had a nice little talk about how we're so happy about some things, right? Yeah, and how I beat Stefan. Man, that was so good. NA FanFest World Champion. Fucking. I'm just kidding.
Team Frosty coming to your next Aether Cup.
Yeah, no. It's going to come in like a snowstorm, buddy.
Oh, my God.
Like a blizzard. No, okay, so let's talk about why a lot of these changes happen. I mean, there's a ton of changes. PvP feels completely different now. What were some of the problems that we were dealing with Heaven's Ward? Let's just lay it out. Even if they didn't fix it, what were some of the issues that happened in Heaven's Ward that like they needed to fix to improve PvP? One, I'll just say this since we've already said it a billion times, is it was hard to get into. It was difficult to get into. You had gear, you had stats that you had to worry about, like going into PvE stuff to get the right gear, to get the right stat, and have perfect crit and accuracy and things like that. There was PvP ranks, where if you didn't have like high enough PvP rank, you were missing like a good cooldown on your Purify or something else. You were missing some stuff that you needed, right? And what else was it? I was kind of holding people from level 70. You had to be level 70 to get into it, right?
60.
60. Was it 60 to get into?
50 to do slaughter, secure, and fold, which people didn't do, and then 60 for the rest of it.
Okay, so if you're, oh well, okay, sorry, 60, yeah, feast, whatever. It was 60 before. Like you had to be level cap, all right? You had to be level cap to get into it, but you don't have to do that now. You can get in there pretty easily. So right now, it's very easy to get into PvP. So they fixed that. So +1, tell me another issue that you kind of saw with Heavensward that we should talk about a little bit.
Sure. So I just want to talk about the one that I dealt with the most, because I played Machinist for the most part. Machinist had so many buffs that you had to use before you actually dealt any damage for the most part, because Machinist was all about popping everything you had, doing like a fat between the eyes, fat ricochet, fat goss around, clean shot, whatever. And there was so much. I mean, you had Raging Strikes, Hawk's Eye, Hypercharge, Reassembled, Blood maybe, Reload, like Wildfire, all these different things you need to pop that none of them by themselves did damage, but it was just prerequisites before you actually dealt damage. And it became a bit of a chore, like at the start of every match, having to pop everything in succession with the inherent server lag present in this game. Like compared to, World of Warcraft, for example, you can macro like, 10 buffs on a single button. You press it once and they all go off. But in this game, you can't do that, right?
Yeah.
So I think that because they removed some of the excess buffs and OGCDs, it made it more accessible. It made it easier to play. But I think on the flip side of that, I feel like they might have removed a little bit too much. And I think if they kept more of the OGCDs, maybe one or two more CC that was that each class had in the previous system, it might have been better. So I think maybe they went a little bit too extreme with what they removed.
Right. Well, Machinist right now, you have 2 things that you have to press for your burst. Right. I mean, I guess you can press reload a whole bunch of times. But you have one main button that you press over and over and over and over again.
Exactly.
And so it's kind of rough because it feels like Machinist is overly simple now. Instead of this nice little delicate system that you had before, and you felt really good after accomplishing it, but you hated it when you missed a buff or something else, and you were hoping you got a crit. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now it's definitely more mindless.
Yeah.
It's like
more mindless on what your fingers are doing, I guess. Yeah, for sure. Okay, Herp. I love just calling on Herp for no reason at all. Just scare him.
Pretty much like you nailed it for the first time with the getting into it with the gear and all that extra clunky stuff that didn't need to be there, and then +1, yeah. Pretty much what I would have said. Mainly what you said first is what I would have said.
Okay, just the ease of access. Like, so Heavensward, tell me another thing that you hated about Heavensward, though, Herp, with the old system, and that was such a problem. Things that they needed to fix to get improved PvP.
I mean, the first thing comes to mind is just like, well, they kind of fixed it now, but like the ability to balance things. Now, they haven't done it yet, but like for example, like how many times Machinist got adjusted and it still was kind of between the eyes still hurt really bad. But or like Ninja and Dark Knight, but how it took literally like almost a year for them to do any real adjustments, and then real less than the 5%, which was still kind of janky. So the new system now balancing PvE balancing the PvP buttons will be a lot easier than balancing PvE and PvP buttons at the same time. So
okay, so the fact that they made it to where they had less stuff they have to balance now, and that they could actually get on a simple platform and then start building from there. Like, they have a better platform to start building from.
Yes.
Instead of trying to organize and make it work in a way that would also not completely make it weird for PvE. Okay. All right, Stefan, what's something in Heaven's Ward that they need to fix?
I mean, a lot of it's been touched up on already. I think the last big thing, and this is something that we'll have to wait and see if they ever fix, is just being able to manage and police their own systems. So, like, back in Heaven's Ward, the huge thing was, like, win trading, and people throwing matches for each other and stuff like that. But now, the trend seems to be that it's an issue with people AFKing in matches.
Oh, no.
Now, I want to talk about that a little bit, because I feel like I don't see an AFKer that often. I've seen it once, maybe twice in Feast. Now, in 72 man, I see him every game, but that's I don't think that's ever going to be fixed, ever.
Yeah. I actually had a good solution for that, but I'm not sure if they're going to implement it.
Maybe.
Which is pretty much just add in a requirement that a player needs to deal a specific amount of damage or do a specific amount of healing to be able to receive experience. And it could be a low number, you know? Like, it can be like 50,000 damage or even like 30,000, because a lot of the times you look at the scoreboard, right? And you'll see people with, like, you know, I've seen people with 0 damage and 0 healing at the end of the game, you know, just sitting at base. But then there's people, you know, 3,000 damaged out, 8,000 damaged out, and they're just sitting at the base the entire game. So I think that could be like the solution they could do, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, like, so there's a couple of different things they could do with that. And not to detract too much from what you're saying, Stefan, but I mean, like, the whole AFK thing, especially when it comes to 72 man, I mean, they could treat it kind of like Fates if they really wanted to get into that. But then people would find out the algorithm that they use and then try to just make sure they hit those numbers and whatever. But like, if you go out and you do a Fate right now, everyone's trying to do something because they won't get rewarded as well if they don't do something, right? So if they had like a gold reward and a silver reward and a bronze reward would be like barely anything. Silver be like, okay, well, this isn't bad. And then gold be like, well, I did something pretty good in this match and I got good EXP for it. But the only problem with that is people who are doing stuff like walking around the map and they're like just trying to do snipe crystals or whatever, because Shatter's the only PvP for 72 man anymore. I don't think there's another PvP for 72 man. Have you guys seen people do Seal Rock recently? Really?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Even secure.
But Q's kind of dropped at about 12 CST.
Well, I mean, like, if they added in some sort of algorithm that could kind of go into activity-wise with what they're doing and try to see, all right, this is what people are doing, this is how we're going to count activity towards the system, and then give them different rewards, and people might move a little bit more on the maps.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you could do is something really simple is just make it tied to, like, kills and assists, and then also to the amount of points that your team has at the end of match. So, like, instead of, I mean, I guess it wouldn't really solve that much, the whole points thing, but I think it would incentivize winning or coming in second place. Or even if you're in third place, just trying a little bit harder.
Yeah.
And then kills and assists would just promote you actually going out there and trying to do something.
Yeah, so they would have to reward people on being successful in 72 man in some way, all right? Doing something and having that recorded. Then they could probably get people stopping from just AFKing, because that's the main issue. And I think I've heard a lot of heated comments recently on people talking about getting angry at people being AFK in Feast. Have you guys had an issue with that with Feast? Like, you get into a match and then someone just sits there?
Yes.
Really? How often does that happen?
For me, it happened, like, frequently. When I didn't play healer, it was like 50% of my games.
That is insane. Like, and healers, I guess, are the most AFK ones, right?
Well, yeah, because if you AFK as a healer, like, you absolutely lose the match, 100%.
SOPs. I mean, you could report that stuff, but then they would have to police it, like you said. They need to make sure that they're policing that stuff. Okay. So, I guess the other things in Feast, like Feast talking, Feast chat, that's not That's not corrected yet.
I've repressed that.
You repressed that.
Yes, we were supposed to. It says on the official forums that Yoshi P was going to address that issue before 4.0, and he never did. So I've sort of given up hope. But yeah, they need to bring chat back, especially with the new changes.
Yeah, there is not a doubt that. I mean, I don't want this to be forgotten about. Chat still needs to be a topic of discussion because this is something that he will have to comment on at some point, and he'll have to say, hey, this is a problem, or hey, this is something that we are doing right now and we're not going to change it. Just never going to change it. The thing is, Feast chat will, if you're going to put something competitive, you have to be able to talk some way at higher levels of play. But if you are at lower levels of play, people are going to say stupid stuff. Okay, you know, that's Feast, right? So,
Well,
I don't know.
I think even at high level plays, people are still gonna.
Oh, they're going to be very angry at high level play, I guess. Because, I mean, if you lose and you lose 25 points instead of 2 points, yeah, you'll be pretty pissed off, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, even like I think a good example is like these CC chains that we were talking about earlier. It's impossible to plan that in solo queue unless like you're in voice with somebody, but it's pretty easy, right? Like if somebody is at least somewhat knowledgeable of the game mode and like the class that they're playing, you can just say, you know, in that pre-game lobby, hey man, I'm gonna silence and then you sleep and then I'm gonna stun afterwards and then we're gonna kill this guy while that's going on, and that's it. Like you cannot do that though with the quick chat system.
Yeah.
It's something that simple.
Okay. The other issues I kind of had with Feast, I guess, back in the day, I can't think. I'm trying to think of anything else that really just got to me, but I can't think of anything else that was a major issue that stood out. The biggest, of course, the number one issue was not being able to get more people into Feast, but now that's been fixed. So they've corrected the main issue with PvP right now, and hopefully that's going to start improving upon the other things. So let's talk about things that. We talked a little bit about things that they fixed here. Was there anything else that we didn't mention earlier that they fixed in Stormblood that you guys have noticed and you're just like, holy crap, thank you for doing this?
Honestly, the DR, being able to see the DR, I think is two sides of the fence. On one level, it was kind of like a skill before you could actually see it, because you could internalize, you know, be like, hey, I know when the sleep DR is going to wear off, but you have to really keep like a mental clock or other means, whatever you know, to keep that going. Now it's like, okay, hey, I stunned this guy. There's a blue marker saying I can't stun him for another 5 seconds. I'll be right back at it. You know what I mean? Like that's, you know. And then before it was like, oh, hey, I'm a melee. I have Federer. Let's fucking go! Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to channel my inner Sir here.
So,
yeah,
I agree with you. I mean, I think that's a good thing that they added that in there because it was so goofy. It was very goofy, especially if you're trying to keep up with stun DRs and things like that. If you're a Paladin and you didn't get all 3 stuns in a row, and then later on someone stuns it halfway through, and then it makes it go a little bit longer, so when you try to stun them later on, it doesn't work. I mean, that is another thing that was kind of a skill, but it was more annoying as hell to me. I took no pleasure in it. Stefan, what are your thoughts on that, man?
On the DR?
Yeah. How they changed the DR up.
I think it's a good thing. I was one of those people that had a mental clock of my own job's DRs, but at the end of the day, it's better to just make that easier, I think. Because then, yeah, I mean, it sucks for the people that learned that because you're taking away one of their advantages, but making the game easier for people, I'm all for, if it means getting better players overall.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, I think we were going to see some, like, again, the skill stuff is going to come out, I think, once we start getting more competitive here and the season starts and we can start seeing our names on a ranking board. All right? Then people are going to... Do you guys feel like you go into PvP, like Feast right now, and you're like, I care about if I win or lose? Or you just go in and you're like, hey, I'm having fun. What's your thoughts right now?
I'm experimenting and trying stuff out. So I care less about winning and more about just, like, trying to figure out the jobs and how they work together with others and stuff like that. So
yeah,
much so I'm still in practice mode.
Okay, excellent. Plus Mateo, Herp, how's Feast going for you right now? How do you feel when you play it?
I just going to have fun. You know, like there's sometimes I queue up and I see some people like, you know, flipping out, spamming macros and whatever. Like if someone messes up, but I don't know, man. I'm
You totally cut out there.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm totally.
Okay, yeah. I just going to have fun.
Okay.
Nice job, dude.
Nice job, dude. I think it's actually pretty amazing. Most of the people who spam that stuff aren't in the tryhard Discord, and I have no clue who they are. I just don't know who the person is. Everyone else, I will have a casual conversation about it afterwards, and no one's upset. I try. You know, the other day I was like, man, yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass, dude. I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna what? You suck, dude. And like, no one cared. Everybody's like, whatever, dude. What? Yeah, cool.
Parking lot right now, dude.
Let's go fight, man. Come on. I was trying to get some like heat going, but everybody's just all laid back right now. No one's like really into it. Yeah, but I'm hoping it happens, man. I'm hoping people are gonna start going crazy over this stuff. Cause
no, wait until the board comes out.
The board.
Yes.
True.
When it comes out, the salt will come back.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Got my salt shaker.
Yeah. Come on, man. Guys, get a little bit of passion in there. Go out there and just say, like, yeah, I'm such a badass. God, you suck. I can't believe you couldn't heal at that point. What a dummy. It's like,
You know what? There was this, actually, it was pretty recent. There was this one game. I played it on Chaos, actually. I haven't been playing much, but I played on Chaos, and I was on my melee. I think I was playing Monk, and I was analyzing the situation. I'm like, okay, best course of action is to attack the healer. They don't have any more tools left. And I'm like spamming my attack healer button, my macro. And this other, I think it was Machinist, my co-partner, my DPS partner, had a different idea to attack the melee. I guess he killed him once in a match. You know what I mean? So he had to get his retribution.
Right. I've seen that a lot.
Oh, yeah. You kill somebody once, get ready.
Every game, they're going to come at you.
You're getting camped, son.
Yeah.
So I'm spamming. I'm like, I'm attack healer now. He's got like a bunch of medals. He's got nothing. And we're going back and forth. He's like, attacking healer, attacking melee, attacking healer, attacking melee. He starts with a nice job. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, let's just attack the melee. And of course we lose. You know what I mean? He keeps doing it. Attacking melee, attacking melee. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I want to know what he means. Like, what's he trying to say to me other than that? Like,
yeah, just attack the melee, man. We got to kill that melee.
Yeah, this dude, he's burned my house down, you know? Like, get him. So.
Jesus, man. Like, there's been so many weird stories about the new players and everything else and what they're doing. And I think it really comes down to most of the issues that are arising from current PvP is I can't tell these guys anything. I can't. Like, I want to tell this guy running up and doing this 10 stack that's a meme. That shouldn't be happening. I mean, nothing. I mean, the adrenaline, I guess, right now isn't like a big deal. You guys don't focus on adrenaline too much, do you?
That's too much HP. Oh my god.
Yeah, like I haven't seen anyone like put a high focus on adrenaline anymore. Wolf's Mark, I still see that a little bit, but not. Still, no one like goes for the boxes that often. Do you guys agree?
I think they're still impactful. I just I don't think people care anymore because attacking another player is more fun than attacking the box.
It's true.
Yeah, Which I think actually kind of promoted, if we're talking about that, like in Frontlines, for example, Shatter, I think is the main way to look at it. Is most people before the update, before Stormblood, would actually be, you know, go after the ice, get the ice. Like that was like a big thing. Now I feel like there's actually a lot more PvP going on, which is pretty cool. I like seeing that. So yeah, Stefan nailed it for sure.
Yeah, +1 completely screwed all the cameras up again.
What are you doing, bro?
This guy, he left. He left. He
left again.
Oh my god. He's trying to fix this mic. So we're all like crazy right now in the camera panels or whatever. That's okay. Screw it. I'm not gonna adjust it. I'm gonna wait till he gets back here. But yeah, I think he's trying to fix the mic or something. Well, we'll just talk like this. We'll have an episode just like this, and we'll accept it. We got Stefan's big forehead here. We got half of Stefan and the top half of Herp over in his box, and then half of me and Mateo.
Herp's like trying to peek through.
I like that. He is.
Jesus, the technical issues are real today. Hopefully no 90Ks, guys. We'll see.
Yeah.
So I guess another thing that I want to talk about, just kind of the new feast and everything else. is that I see a lot of players' reactions, like a lot of early reactions where people, I didn't even know if they cared about Feast, but this is just what they're saying. They're like, oh, it's just one button now. I don't want, no, it's stupid. PvP's dead. Feast is dead. Square Enix screwed up. Nice job, guys. And so like everyone is like bashing, like there's either the people who are completely opposing PvP, they hate it, they think it's stupid, or, here I'm going to peek up a little bit too, or it's going to be the people who are like, oh, this is great, I'm having lots of fun with PvP. But it's from the side of like hardcore PvP or PvE players. They're like, I'm never going to play PvP ever in this game because it's stupid. Back in like 3.x, now they're getting into it and love it. But all the people who were playing PvP are like, no, it's stupid. I'm never going to get into it again now because it's too easy. Do you guys, have you seen that?
Yeah, I see that too. And I think the reason for that is sort of like what I was touching on earlier. A lot of people that didn't play it before think it's awesome, but that's because it's easy to get into. And if you're not, like at the beginning, it's really fun. Like I had a blast with it the first few days, but the veteran PvPers, the reason that they don't like it so much is because it lacks depth. So I think like a good example, in my opinion anyway, was yesterday I played Bard for the first time in PvP. And for the first 2 matches, I had no idea what I was doing. I was still getting some kills, but didn't really figure it out. But then after those 2 matches, I figured it out, and then that was it. Like there was nothing more to it. Like I figured it out so quickly, and then like there's just nothing left. Whereas before, like it took me like a good couple weeks to learn how to do the machinist burst and like get it down to muscle memory and like, you know, use my CC properly. And you had so many other different tools that you could use in PvP. Whereas now it's sort of your job does one thing, maybe it has a tiny little side utility, and then that's it.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what it feels like, definitely. I mean, again, so easy to get into it, but fuck, like I do wish there was a little bit more depth, but it's not going to make me bash on PvP and say I'm never going to play it because I still have fun. Like that's literally the important part to me. Like if I'm coming in and I'm playing the game, it's something that I can feel is fun. And honestly, the other team has as many tools as I do, so I just got to find ways to be better than them. There are ways to get better than them. It's not just knowing how to play your job, right? There's other things in the Feast match that you have to know to be a good player. And I feel like people forget that. You shouldn't feel good just because you can do a rotation properly. I have a high parse on a dummy. Okay, well, you just press the same buttons and actively in a row. Good. Here, there's other things in PvP I feel like people just need to start getting a little bit better on. And hopefully this will help them because they're like, hey, I already know how to play the job or do my abilities. Now I just have to figure out how to be good at PvP. Right? Or am I wrong there? Am I crazy?
Well, I'm gonna keep beating this in, but I mean, still, the difficulty level of PvP and like how easy it is. I mean, still, we're basing this off all of unranked matches.
Yeah.
You may be like, you know, I'm having fun as White Mage now, but I mean, if I just started playing White Mage now, I mean, and then play against Diamond or Platinum players, I'd still be having fun, but I wouldn't have that much fun because I'd be getting wrecked. I mean, I'm unranked motherfuckers now. I'm healing unranked. Yeah, this is easy. This is fun. But if I started in Diamond and I'm just getting gangbanged over and over again, wouldn't be so easy. Wouldn't be so. That's it. I can go for DPS and tanks.
I feel like right now with all the new players, healer is the most enjoyable to play because like you go out there and just people don't know what they're doing and just keeping people alive. The pressure will get there at some point. Calling 20 will happen at some point and someone's going to die from one hit, right? But you're constantly challenging yourself in some way. And you're trying to keep people alive. Although it's funny, there's some matches that I play as White Mage and I do literally nothing. Not a single heal, not anything. We still win. And that's really depressing.
Yeah. I think with some of the healers, though, there's a bit of a discrepancy in terms of like the skill ceiling and like min-maxing them. I think White Mage and Scholar have a decent enough toolkit to where like I think good players will shine depending on their usage. Like I think White Mage in particular with protect, how like protect works now, divine benison or benison, I forgot how it's pronounced, or I forgot what the name was, but it's a 20% shield, benediction, and then all these things combined with the fact that you have like these lilies which reduce the cooldown, so you have to, you know, figure out which ability do you want to use your lilies on, this and that. I think once we get to the higher end of play, the better white mages will definitely shine. Same with Scholar, for example, because Scholar has a lot to manage too. So those two classes I think are okay for healers, but I think for like Astrologian, it's definitely the easiest of the three in that it's the most simple one to pick up because there's so few abilities.
I haven't played Astro yet. Is it really that much easier?
It is.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot less to keep. I mean, there's barely anything you have to keep track of. Like for cards now, there's only one button, which is draw. Like there's no shuffle. There's no, you can't keep a card anymore or Royal Road or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So one, I'm going to give you a quick side thing here. Like, so your mic sounds better. You're not cutting in and out, but you were like 10 times louder.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what happened, but you're like super. Am I the only one who hears that?
I like it, man. It's it. Oh yeah.
Voice.
Hats are coming on. It's like.
Oh my god. All right, but yeah. I gotta adjust the volume a little bit here. So,
okay.
See if you can find the mic volume on yours and see if it will go down a little bit. And maybe that way we don't have to auto balance everyone else here too, and we'll be good. We'll be good. You're almost there. +1.
Okay, so lower the volume.
Yeah, lower your volume a little bit.
All right, how's it now?
It's better. Maybe like an inch more. Like an inch more.
Is it good now?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool. Sorry
Chat will
about
tell
that.
us if it's totally all right. Yeah, you know what? It's not like your picture is you dealing with a lot of audio equipment or anything. So it's not like we have expectations that you're like really
It's
good.
Zoom, man.
I don't know. Zoom's fine.
Yeah.
Mr. +1.
+1 and the car driving by.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get on to the other topics here. I want to ask you guys: do you feel like there's any jobs out there that's just like super hard to get into? Are there any that's just difficult? Just like, man, this is actually still a little complicated. No?
I personally don't think so. I think some are harder than others. But like I said, if you just sit down and play it for 5 or 10 minutes, you'll get it.
What's the hardest one right now, if you had to guess?
In terms of getting... Really? You think the healers are the hardest to get into? To get into, right?
Oh, to get in? Yeah, that's true.
Okay, what do you guys think about Monk? Because it's pretty different now.
It's very different.
Yeah.
I'm so sad over Axe Kick, dude. I'm so sad.
I think Monk is butchered, in my opinion.
It does a lot of damage. I mean, you still have your tankiness, but it's not really as strong, right? Like before, it was just insane. Like now you have to reach like a threshold of like losing 50% of your max HP, and then you gain your defense buff, and then you gain your offense buff. But when you couple that with like you get your riddle of earth, you know, once you get that proc, and you get your riddle of fire, and you spam the shit out of your somersault like all the time. You just keep that thing on cooldown. You get your demolish. That's actually the first job I tried out. You know, you build up your chakra, you throw up your demolish, you throw up your somersault, chakra, and tornado kick. Someone's gonna die. Like that's a lot of damage, but it's completely different.
Melees are insane right now. Like I've seen like good samurais and good dragoons pretty much just destroy people.
Yes.
Dragoons especially. Yes. Dragoons are absolutely broken. So much harder.
Oh man, somebody's happy about that, I'm sure.
But I think to answer the question, I don't know. I guess I agree with Mateo. I think Monk, because it is so much different than the actual PvE gameplay of the job, Monk's probably the hardest to get into.
Okay, I gotcha. I feel like that's what I'm gonna start doing though. I feel like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to every single job and I'm gonna play every single job and make sure I understand all of it. Because I feel like I can. I feel that confident right now that I could get into any single job, and I can't be upset about that. I don't know why. I feel like that doesn't need to be like if I get into. I should understand the core mechanics of a job as soon as I get into it. If I'm doing something that's on the side and for fun, which is what a lot of people treat PvP as, I should be able to get into it without having to put too much thought and work into it. And so there we go. This change is insane. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit too. I wanna get into a conversation about a lot of issues I'm seeing because so many people can get into PvP. There's a lot of issues that are happening right now. So what's one of the biggest memes that you guys can think of that happens in the tryhard Discord?
Oh, in the tryhard Discord?
Yeah, in a tryhard Discord. What's one of the
Oh my god.
not aiming at a person.
Ah, damn it.
But aiming at what people do when they mess up.
Medals.
Absolutely.
Medals. Since season 1, since preseason of season 1, medals have been an issue.
Yeah.
You know what? When
But
you go
not this
into not this much. When you go into 8 versus 8, which is a practice mode, I make it a point, no matter what I'm jobbed, to actually just collect as many medals as I can. I don't like 90% of the time. I think I'm exaggerating, of course, but most of the time you won't get targeted unless you really pissing somebody's Cheerios kind of thing. Like, you will not get targeted.
Yeah,
so that's one thing.
It's weird because people don't pay attention. I mean, 8v8 right now, before there was nothing serious about it. Still, there's nothing serious about 8v8. I mean, and this was actually a recommendation people had before. They were like, make 8v8 the training mode and make solo the serious mode, right? And that's what they did, which we're all kind of sad about in our own way. But well, there's different reasons for that. And +1, I'll go ahead and say this real quick. Probably cut down by 1/3. Try that. Okay. And we'll see how that works out. All right. So with the medals, I don't know what happened to make people if they just don't understand how Feast works and they just see shiny stuff on the ground and they're like, I'm supposed to get that. And they don't understand what happens when they get it. I think that's the only thing I can think.
Money on the ground, man. Don't tell me you wouldn't pick it up.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? There's a fight in Stormblood where you're supposed to pick up money off the ground in order to win, right?
Yes.
So
that's right. Yeah.
Maybe there's a bad relation going on there. But no, seriously, and this is the thing. It becomes who kills the high stacked player last. Because it just goes back and forth. This guy has 400 medals. Now this other guy has 400 medals. Now this other guy has 400 medals. And it just goes back and forth between the two teams because they don't know what they're doing. So I kind of feel like we should explain medals real quick. Who could do this the best way? Herp, explain how medals work.
All right, so let me break down for you. All right, so everybody on the team has 100 medals, all right? 100 medals, you do a map, okay? Now, the point of the game is to get 600 medals. But if you die, if you fuck up, you freaking, or if you're Paladin, if you're a healer, and he doesn't clemency you, you lose half your medals. So if you die, basically, it's like you'll be down to 50. But here is the case. So the more medals that the other team has after they reach a certain threshold, I think it's 150. Yeah, 150 you'll get a stack. And it's a heavy metal stack. And heavy metal stack is basically PvE for all you here. It's one stack of vulnerability. So the more coins you have, the more stacks you get, the more mad your healer get pissed at you. Tanks. So what you want to do is you got to balance that mechanic while trying to get 600 coins or survive till 8 minutes.
And it increases exponentially for every medal that you get. So let's say you get 50, then you get 1 stack, but if you get another 50, you're at 4 stacks by then. It just keeps amplifying. And so
yes,
right?
You're dead.
Yeah. And so if you're a tank, do you guys feel like tanks should still get 4 stacks or no?
No way.
So everybody needs to just get 150, and that's the goal.
Well, the melee can tank a little bit better now.
So what's an ideal separation of who should get how many medals?
I think Stefan brought up a good point earlier.
Yeah. So it's a little bit more complicated. So I guess the best place to start would explain the old meta when it came to getting medal stacks, in that you would have the tank take 4 stacks, and then anybody else you would have either split to try to stay under 1 stack, or at maximum everybody else could take 1 stack and probably not live. But basically the tank would go over no more than 4 stacks. Now a tank will get absolutely decimated if they have 4 stacks of metals. So it's really not a good idea for anybody to get 4 stacks. And the healers in melee also will get decimated if they have 1 stack of metal. So really, like, I think the meta now is going to be to kill the same person over and over and over just to relieve pressure while CCing the healer or something, to just give yourself like a little bit of metals over and over and over.
Mm.
And then you're just going to have to play out the 8-minute game and win by, like, you know, an 80 metal advantage or something.
So you don't think that you should kill a person and then kill another person and kill another person and kill another person? You should kill the same person over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to go with that. I want to say everybody should get 1 stack. I do.
That's they get destroyed, man.
I don't know. Like that should be the goal. I think that tank should get the first one, then melee maybe the second one, and maybe range the third one, and healer last. Or healer should get one before all them. I don't know. Defense stack should get it, maybe. Right?
Actually, you know what? When you said healer should get 1 stack, I've kind of been trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
By doing that, I've been a little bit hyper aggressive with my nukes.
Oh,
What
yeah?
I've been doing, I've been kind of trying to expend my MP as fast as I can. I you know, in higher level games, I'm sure I can't do this. Like, they'll catch on what I'm doing. But what my plan has been is like, okay, I'm a healer. I'm gonna grab this first stack, and I'm just gonna go like hyper aggressive with my nukes and try to, you know, goad them into actually killing me.
Mm.
Right.
Okay.
So just to kind of, you know, get that damage onto them and you know, show them who's boss. and then I'll come back with a fresh pool of MP kind of thing. That's kind of been
I
my...
get what you're doing. You're suiciding.
Yeah, I'm suiciding.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I never do that. Never die. Never give
No,
up.
I know.
Come on. But no, like I feel like if you have a defense up stack, you should be able to get 1 stack. So a tank,
Sure.
then whoever has defense up can get a stack. All right, then we're okay.
Don't say tank and defense up in 1 sentence.
Okay, okay.
Cut that part out.
I'm gonna try my best. If you get defense up stack and you're a tank, you should get all the medals because no one cares about you anymore. All right,
That's true.
just get all the medals. I don't care. And then
Darwinism.
we'll pick it up from there. But you know, it's funny. Oh my god, I'll get into buffs in a second. Well, let's finish up on medals here. So I feel like you can live through that stuff if you have 1 stack, because it's like 10% damage up, right? Is that what we're looking at?
It's 12% per stack.
12% per stack. Is that right? Okay, so it's 12%. And so if it's 12% per stack, it's a bit, but I don't know. I feel like
so what happens is if you have that sort of a debuff on you, and then also consider some other debuffs that people can throw up, like the Soul Survivor, like the Trick Attack thing, the healing potencies from your healer can't keep up with that. Just, you know.
Well, I mean, you could counter it with defense up stuff, right?
For how long though?
Well, as long as they can keep up the offense up, I would think. Right?
I mean, there's only really one healer that has that kind of stuff, and that would be White Mage with like the OGCD shields.
Protect.
Like, yeah, with Protector, Divine Benison.
And
then like you have your tanks, but it's like, how long does that last, right? And the stack lasts forever.
Yes.
Okay. So okay. All right. I'm gonna agree to disagree. I still think everybody should get 1 stack. I don't know why. I just feel like it should be like that.
Everybody should 1 stack?
Everybody should 1 stack, yeah. And if you have a tank who can help support you not dying, then it's good. I think the only ones that could do that is Dark Knight and Paladin now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you have a healer who kind of focuses and says, hey, these people have stacks I need to they might be focused on. I need to be aware that they're going to take heavy damage and be a little bit more cautious with them overall. We'll see how it all works out. But I don't know. Killing 1 person over and over again just seems like too slow of a game.
Well, if you look back... Sorry, go ahead, Stefan.
I was going to say, like, that's just the safest way to get the win, right? Because if you play a match where both teams are coordinated and both DPS, you know how to do lots of damage together at the same time, like in the game right now, without the stacks, you can still kill people really, really easily. Like, for example, in 3 seconds, if the healer gets stunned, you can easily kill somebody in those 3 seconds.
If it's coordinated.
The damage stack. Yeah, if it's coordinated.
Mhm.
With the damage stack, the extra 12%, like you could do it in 2.5 seconds.
Mhm.
You know, so
Okay.
I don't think the damage is higher now, and it's easier for people to do it.
Mhm.
So you didn't want to get the stack before, and you still don't want to get the stack now. Is the way I see it, because you also don't have the same like immunities. Like you don't have attunement, you don't have something like Featherfoot or stuff like that.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So I guess +1. Do you agree with Stefan?
Yeah, I do.
Mateo?
I do actually. I was gonna quickly.
Okay.
Go ahead. I was gonna just quickly point out when it comes to just staying on one target for majority of the match, you kind of have to look at the finals of the Aether Cup. I know we're kind of referring to that a lot. I'm sure we'll have a link later, but
Yeah.
the finals of the Aether Cup was pretty much okay. Let's stay on the white mage, for example, Boxer versus Primal. They took out the white mage so many times. It didn't matter the medals they collected from them, the stacks they collected from them. It was just a matter of, okay, hey, let's keep this person down. Let's keep that pressure down, that CC and everything like that. So I think what Stefan is suggesting is really, really good. Just CC the healer, take out the DPS, and relieve that pressure off of you. Like the first kill, you probably don't even have to pick up the medals. You know what I mean? Like it's optional the way I see it. Just keep asserting that pressure. Keep that damage on. So absolutely, I agree.
Okay. All right. Herp, do you agree?
Oh yeah.
Screw all you guys.
But then again, I will say it varies on the situation. I think it could vary also on compositions and stuff like that. But then again, we can't really chat, like say hypothetically that was a meta. You have two main strats. The one everybody gets one stack or focus the same person over and over again. Well, I mean, we wouldn't be able to discuss that or implement that. Like, okay, we have a Dark Knight, for example, we should do this strat. So, yeah.
So
I see what you're saying, because if you had a Dark Knight or a Paladin, then you're like, okay, guys, well, now we have that extra defense, so we can really protect the guy with one stack. So let's do the one stack strategy. But you can't discuss that.
Yeah, you can't talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be honest with you, Stefan. You're right. That is the safest way to do it. 100% safest way to do it. Because you don't ever get to that point of pressure until Coaling comes, and then that pressure will be there no matter what. And I feel like if you try to get those medals before Coaling happens, then you at least have some sort of advantage. I don't know. Maybe that's not true. Maybe it sways in their way afterwards. But it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting to hear that there's actually a little bit more discussion about it than just main tank gets 4 stacks and everyone else just kind of get it as it goes along. Because if you're playing a really serious game and you want to win, you want to play as safe as possible, and that's the only way that you can play safe is to kill that one person over and over again. Okay. All right, so let's talk about these defense up buffs and these offense up buffs. I'm pretty sure, guys, that offense up does not increase your healing still.
But you can do damage as a healer that is relevant.
Not as relevant as a defense. So this is one of the most common things, and I've seen people aggressively go for it as a healer is the offense up buff, and I've seen tanks aggressively go for the defense up buff. And I don't know where they're getting these thoughts from. Like, do you hear anyone say anything about some sort of crazy new meta that I don't understand?
No.
Why is it that if someone's told nothing at all as a tank, you want to get the defense up buff?
Because they're the tank, they need to take less damage. When they run by themselves into the enemy team of 8 people,
Yes.
that they can
Blackest Night.
Like, I don't understand this, and it's like this is something that new players are coming in and they're just thinking they should be doing. Like, I guess maybe because they're new. All right, there's one. They're new and they're dying a lot, and so they're like, I hate dying. Dying sucks. Defense up buff, I'm gonna die less. So that's what they're thinking, right?
Right. Yeah.
They're not thinking about the rest of the team. They just don't want to die. All right. So that's the first thing. Okay. The second thing is, I don't understand white mages getting offense. I can't make sense of that. I don't know if they just don't read the ability and they truly think it is healing being increased, or if they are. I don't know. I'm trying to make some logic.
I have one thing.
Okay.
I did get my offense buff the first time as White Mage because I thought, and I didn't read the tooltip, I thought that a size did damage in PvP. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to come in here. I'm going to do some big dick DPS. I'm just everybody with the size. I'm going to be the top of the damage charts at the end of this game. Only to find out that a size only does healing in PvP.
Mm-hmm. And guys, I know this stuff was happening before, but it's not. There was not it was like, oh man, this is funny. This happened like one time, that one day, that 1 week. This is every fucking match. Like it's not just a one-time thing. It's like super common now to see all these mistakes with medals and with the buffs. They just like, it's huge. And again, this is all from the new player base, but I hope that you guys, as people who understand, people listening to the show, people on the show, can spread the good word every once in a while. If the game ends, look what server this guy's on. He's on your server. Be like, hey man, I noticed you got 400 medals. I kind of want to explain how this works. Hey man, I noticed that you're a healer, and it seemed like you had a damage focused play that you were going on.
My bad.
Yeah. So maybe that. Wait for that scoreboard to pop up. I know you guys want to get into the next game as soon as possible. Wait for that scoreboard to come up, and maybe look at what server they are, and then positively go to them and say, this is something that you might want to realize. Maybe the first question would be like, hey, do you enjoy PvP? And they respond, nah, I just want EXP. Blacklist them. Be done. All right? Then go on to the next thing. But I mean, I feel like we have to find some way to educate new players, because this is getting kind of out of hand. Do you guys feel that way, that I'm overreacting a little bit? Like I played a little bit of Feast before Stormblood, but I feel like it's like horrible now.
In that regard, yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
in that regard, yeah.
Yeah, when it goes to more of the boxes that actually pop during the match, like the adrenaline and the wolf's heart, wolf's heart, pardon me.
Wolf's fart?
the wolf's heart, yeah. Those are really, really important. I know when Wolf's Heart first got introduced, it was like a huge thing. Like, you stop what you're doing, you limit break the fucking thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of emphasis on that. Now I feel
people
like
still do it. They still limit break it.
They still limit break? Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's good. That's good. It's just, it goes back to what Stefan said almost at the beginning of the show. It's like, people would rather hit other people than boxes and stuff. But there needs to be some basics, and those are absolutely the basics. Like, if your melee is really good back in the day, or if your range is really good, you come to the consensus. It's like, hey, I know this guy. This is next cross. I'm gonna give him both attack and defense. You know what I mean? Something like that. But now it's like you have these healers and tanks just kind of scrambling to take your shit. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, chill, dude.
Yeah. Chill out.
But one way to circumvent that I've actually kind of noticed is, use your quick chat macros. Say hello, collecting defensive. Throw in a thank you. You know what I mean? Like, you'll be good. Like, people usually respect that.
Nice.
Right? Just gotta say it, and it shouldn't bypass them. Like, they will kind of see it. So. But yeah, like, tanks for some reason have been taking defense.
Paladins, I think, is like the highest focus, right?
Yes,
like,
and Warrior's not a tank anymore. Just
it's a
I just want to
DPS.
say that, like, Warrior doesn't exist anymore. Just for those.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a bit, but
honestly,
taking it.
I still think this game would benefit by having some sort of like Beast tutorial or PvP tutorial before you're allowed to enter rated.
Like a Hall of Novice kind of for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just to explain, okay, for example, it'll be like break the offensive box, and then it'll say like this gives you 10% increased damage, normally reserved for melee or range DPS, like, or even if you're playing Paladin, okay, like use clemency on this target, use cover on this target, just like basic stuff saying, okay, this is, because to this day, even with the new system, some people aren't completely aware of the playstyle that's expected in Rated Feast.
But you know what? Actually, when we got our update after sitting through the queue for about 11 hours, I'm just kidding. I zoned into the Wolves Den, and there was like a pop-up. You know what I mean? Hey, the feast. Welcome to the feast. Welcome to the Wolves Den. This is how you play. And I think it took, I don't remember exactly, but I think it takes you to a website, you know, just like the help desk or whatever it is.
No one's going to read it. That's the thing.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You guys are right. I mean, we do need like a kind of hollow novice.
I mean,
it needs...
just do it like a lot of PvP or like competitive games do this, where like they have a tutorial. They're like, this is your tutorial match. And so they could just have a tutorial match with computers, and they could go out there and say, hey, you can do this, and just show basic things about the game. You don't have to. You can make one for tank and healer and so on. You don't have to say Paladin has cover and everything else. You can just say this is what the tanks kind of do in this match, sort of, unless you're a warrior, right? So
I think a lot of competitive games too just don't have so many like I don't know how to describe them, but like extra mechanics. Like if you look at Counter-Strike or you look at like Overwatch, like I'm going to use Overwatch as the best example. It's like, okay, escort the payload. Okay, you know exactly what you have to do. There's this thing, and you have to escort it from point A to point B. That's all you're doing. Here you have collect the medals. You have these boxes that pop up at certain intervals. All of them do different things. You have an offense and a defense and a wolf's heart and an adrenaline. And it's like you have to learn all of these little different things, whereas a lot of the other modes or a lot of the other games that are competitive, it's like, you know, a one-track mind. Like you have one goal. That's all you have to focus on.
That's true.
You look at even the Frontlines modes, so like something like Capture the Flag. Like they're very simple. Even if you haven't played it before, like you know exactly what you have to do going in.
Well, I mean, like I think it's the same way. They just add little bonus ways to get to the goal. Like the main goal is 600 medals. I mean, in the end, right? Or have higher medals in the end. And then they have all these little extra things to do it, but those extra things just should get a little bit of explanation. And it shouldn't be hard to explain these things. Shouldn't be, right? Maybe in that pop-up window, it should just say, this is boxes, this is medals, and be done. Right? Or like,
yeah,
don't have to go deep in the detail of it. And while I have the chance +1, I'm gonna test something. Cut yourself by half. I don't know what it is, but like it seems like
half.
That. Yeah, that's good. Actually, I think
that's good.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
Okay,
that's really good.
Wow, Jesus, you just like fixed everything.
Ask and I'll do.
All right, good. Well, before I forgot about it. So yeah, I don't know. There's some stuff that they should be doing now that a new player is in there. They should just say, all right, this is what you're gonna do. I mean, it was a good idea to put that big, nice, cool document that pops up the first time you go into Wolf's Den. I just don't know if people are gonna do it enough. You know what? You guys should make a video. Make a video. Intro.
Herp.
Like 5-minute video, and this is an intro to Feast. Watch this video, and you'll understand everything.
No, man, it'd be like, that's the offense box. Nice tits. And then it'd be like, this is the defense. Damn, Daniel. That's what it would be like. And then you're like, oh shit, the wolf's heart. Keep it moist.
Yeah.
That's the Herp video that we're waiting on.
Like, oh, you overstack. Get spanked.
Get spanked. Teabag.
Yeah. Oh god. Maybe we should do it though. No.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Gotta keep it moist.
We get +1's voice in there, and then like all the memes will be Herp.
That would be fun.
Herp voices all the memes.
Man, never mind. I'm not gonna say it. I'm good.
All right, there we go. And yeah, I mean, it would be easy. You just say, hey, watch this video, and then you'll have a clear understanding of how Feast works, and it wouldn't take long. It could probably take 60 seconds to kind of put those details out there.
Yeah, it's possible.
So, all right.
Version, you want to learn more.
Yeah, and you can go to the extended stuff, which we will never make. But okay, so let's
just make sure. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, it's
in the video.
Fuck you.
Just fuck you, man. Nice shot.
That's it.
Just make sure when you win the match, you gotta have a dab. Like whoever you kill, just gotta dab like right over them.
Yeah.
Can you show us the spinning dab? Thank you.
Oh, there we go. Herp, thank you so much.
Reverse.
The reverse spinning dab. All right, there we go.
Oh, perfect.
That's important.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit. In like new players come into this. This is exciting. These are things. There's some things that we still the community. How do you guys feel about PvP? Are you guys? I mean, we talked about this a little bit, but you've had a few more days to think about it too. Kind of, how are you guys feel like the state of PvP right now? Do you feel like we're doing better? Like we're doing okay? Or we feel like the end of days is here?
I feel like we're in the right direction now because Stormblood, man, it was just going downhill, less and less players. But now we're in the right direction. We got this mode that can be easily balanced without affecting PvE. So maybe, hopefully, we'll get faster changes, faster adjustments, maybe a faster response. But yeah, that's like.
Okay. +1, what are your thoughts, dude? Did he disappear? Oh, okay.
I think it's tough to say right now. I really want to see, once the season actually starts, once we see, the higher levels of play, how it's going to play out. Because honestly, it's a bit hard to tell right now, kind of like what everyone's saying, because, you'll have games where you're against a brand new healer. You'll have games against AFK healers. And I did play a few, pretty high-end matches where the matchmaking, like, it just happened to be all like diamond rated players. And it was interesting. I think it's higher APM than it was before. But we'll see once like the meta starts to kind of sink in where we'll be.
And that's exciting. This is an exciting time to be in PvP, guys. The meta hasn't sunk in.
Yeah, definitely not.
So
we're still, everyone's still figuring stuff out.
That's awesome. I mean, if that's a huge point that you guys should realize this, especially if you're veteran PvP players and you're kind of disinterested right now. There's still a meta to build, and there's still stuff to go out there. People are going to try, and they're going to be a little bit serious about it. And the people who are better at being serious about PvP will come out on top. I'm certain of it. And be a part of that. That's always fun to me. I don't know why. That's always fun to be like when Overwatch first came out. I loved the first parts of Overwatch because everyone understood nothing. Right? They kind of understood it, but everyone just kind of made the best of it, and then things started to develop, and then it became a little bit more solid, and they're like, oh, well, the best always does this and everything else, right? Now we're still working. So, all right, Stefan, how are you feeling, man?
I think that they've laid like a fresh groundwork that has set the stage for it to like move in the right direction, but Square Enix, not the community, right? The community can do whatever they want. But ultimately, it's up to Square Enix to really show PvP some love and nurture it and grow it into something great that we can all enjoy. There's a lot of like really little, easy to change things that they'd have to change right now. So like job balance is one. I know for me, the hugest thing is that there's still some like really archaic, like just bad things about some of the abilities, like Hollow Ground and Benediction still having that like 2-second animation delay, like in this new fast-paced game mode. Like fuck that, dude. Fuck that. Like that's all I can say. Like they have to fix stuff like that. And then I mean, I guess bring it all together, right?
Okay.
Repeating myself a little bit. It's moving in the right direction. I have a laundry list of things that they would have to change to make it better. I think one of the big things, though, that we're going to see moving into this season specifically is that all of these level 30 characters and level 30 jobs now are able to go into ranked Feast. So I think this first season of Feast that we're about to move into like is just going to be an absolute shit show for that one reason alone. Like I do not think that season 1 of Stormblood Feast is going to be enjoyable.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have fun with it. I don't care as much about that. If I'm playing against like the best players constantly and they keep having all these level 30 characters that they're facing against me, whatever. I'm still playing. I'm still trying to be better than they are, and I'm having fun doing it. But
let me rephrase it. Climbing the ladder is not going to be enjoyable.
Okay.
Be enjoyable.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mateo. What about your thoughts, dude?
You know what? I think the guys kind of nailed it. There's just like Stefan said, there's a laundry list of little things that they can just tweak. It's headed in the right direction. I mean, when it comes to healers, you got White Mage and Scholar that are actually pretty good APM at the moment. Like you actually need to really almost micromanage a couple things ongoing. Whereas Astrologian, it's like, hey, you know what? I got my what's it called? Lightspeed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pop this shit and just go like nuke your ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't really play like that, but it's just the complexity between the jobs is really strange. Some are like on a scale of like +1 was actually, we were talking about this, on a scale of 1 to 10. You have some jobs that are like pretty high, and then the other ones, then the other jobs are like, hey, you know what? Like, do you know how to count to 2, 3, 1, 2, 3? Okay, good. Like, do your thing. But overall, I think the job tweaks really need to be reassessed.
Okay.
When it comes to how we're all doing damage, I think there should be a little bit of a change. There should be a little bit more user input. Like if we look at Monk, for example, there's 2 different combos. Why not add a third one? Like, it's just one more slot, that they could take up. Like right now you have one combo that puts up a trick attack pretty much on the target. By the time you apply or demolish, and the other one's your damage combo. Now you want to do more big dick damage, just keep doing this. I think it should be a little bit more in depth. Like, just add a third one, finish it with axe kick. I love that animation. Just have that in there, you know what I mean? Just do something to make it a little bit more. Just add one combo more, applies dragon kick or applies twin snakes. Cool. Let's go with that. That's my thoughts.
Okay. So overall, they need to add more depth. There needs to be a little bit more to sink into.
Yes.
Okay.
Slightly, yeah.
Like
I was saying this, I forget if it was last night or when we were talking before, like literally 1 or 2 more abilities for each job.
Yeah.
So they kind of just hit a little bit too under the bar. All right. So that should be hard to fix. I mean, it might be a little bit the balance, right? Because some things are going to be a little bit more overpowered when they do stuff like that. But I don't know. I feel like just adding in a couple abilities each one wouldn't be too difficult as well.
Yeah. And like that's the thing is, some classes, like we've been saying, are like kind of okay. Like I think White Mage and Scholar have like a decent enough toolkit, but then you have some other classes where it feels like something's missing. It just like once you've played either of those 2 and then you switch to something else, it's like, man, just something's not there. It just feels a little hollow. But if they were to add, like if they were to either split out that combo system from that one button, or if they were to just add another 1 or 2 abilities, I think that would bring back some of that depth.
Yeah,
for sure.
So,
and I mean, sorry, go ahead, Herb.
Oh, okay. Depth wise, okay. When you're talking about bringing out, do you think, for example, you said how some jobs need some, I think if you haven't tried Samurai, I think it's pretty perfect. I mean, they got literally everything. They got, they can break away. They have, they have 3 different, what's those sends? You know what I'm saying? 3 different combos. You can combine those combos into the most ultimate combo. Like, I'm pretty sure now. So you're saying like maybe make more jobs kind of like Samurai, they can be like more complete. Because I can like Ninja, for example, like hide is like 5 seconds till you can hide again, and then assassinate, which is only a 10% buff. I mean, that's kind of like that could. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like some classes like Machinist, I think is like the best example, where it's literally 2 buttons. It's like press your combo button, split slug, clean shot, and then between each one press quick reload. It's like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's kind of a neat feeling though. I mean, yeah,
it's definitely higher APM than it was before. Like you're mashing buttons faster than you were before, but it's not as it's not as methodical. So, and
the whole goal is like every 30 seconds, try to get over there to get a stun off, or get a stun, and then a stun with eye between or eye. Well, see, that's the other thing with Machinists that you have to know. They could have already been stunned. Well, now you gotta sit there and wait for that cooldown to finish off before you can do your combo.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's weird. Go ahead, Stefan, you were saying something, right?
Yeah, so my thing is like when we talk about like adding more depth, I wouldn't necessarily change the damage rotations. Like I know that they're boring. I mean, Machinist was my favorite DPS job in Heavensward, and like now like it is just like it's fun for the visual of it, because like you're just sitting there like doing flips and shit, like
it's amazing. Yeah. But as soon as you get like overheated, and then like you're sitting there trying to get back into healer. You're like, this is the most boring thing in the world.
It feels terrible.
Well, that's, I mean, if we're talking about machinists, that's one thing they could do is add a little bit more to the overheat. Like, I felt like if overheating was more rewarding, like if you really tried to time it, like, oh shit, like if I overheat right now, I'm gonna do some sick shit right now.
I mean, that's the goal, is
But,
that
like,
you
you just
overheat and then you wildfire, right?
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like 10% more damage or something? Like that's nothing.
Oh, it
Yeah,
adds up.
It's actually kind of funny because like it almost has the same issue in PvE right now that it does in PvP. Because like even in PvE, like it's not worth it a lot of the times to overheat. So like even though that mechanic's there and you deal 10% more damage, it's just like, why? Because afterwards you lose it all, you know? So
yeah, the only barrel stabilizer is the only thing that kind of saves it.
Yeah.
If you do it overheat.
So like but if they made it instead of 10% to 20%, then it's like, oh, you know, now I have a good enough reason. Like, damn, I'm gonna do nasty damage or like much better damage than it is now.
But they do too much damage as it is, right? I mean, like, I don't know. I don't feel like they. I feel like if you do an overheated combo with wildfire and a stun, then you're doing some decent damage. You can't solo somebody, right?
I actually no class right now can solo a healer in a 1v1.
That's good.
Yeah, it's an interesting change.
The thing about that, I think, going from Heaven's Word Feast to Stormblood Feast, you know, like taking for example Monk. I know we're talking about machines, but I just want to talk about like melee. Anytime a melee would use Feather Ward, that's your kill condition. Somebody's gonna die. Either you have your full burst or you have your limit break. You know what I mean? Like that was like shit's going down. The way to make that accessible as a melee, especially, is to have a stun or some kind of way to stop the healer.
Communication with the paladin. Communication with the time.
Yeah, that's true.
With no chat.
Yeah,
but that like. You know what I mean? It's in high level games. Like probably it can happen, but it was so satisfying having that ability to go up to the healer, be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna hard swap to you, shoulder tackle, just do my combo. You know, middle of that combo, you throw up your steel peak or whatever it was, and you know that's a blunt of your damage. Somebody's gonna die, pretty much. Now it's like you need a lot more communication, which makes me sad because of our quick chat.
Well, I mean, you just have to spam attack the healer, right? I mean, that's
true.
That's the thing. Like, you attack the healer. If they don't listen, then what are you gonna do about it? Like, it's
not
just
much.
Yeah.
But then again, they could attack the healer, not stun.
Yeah.
Attack healer, stopping healer. You know?
I wish they could say stop the healer. Is there a way to say stop the healer? Like, if they could just throw that in there as a command.
No. We're not adding more commands. We're taking them all away.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to. Fuck, Feast chat has been like a meme now. I don't know why.
It is a meme. It was a really bad decision.
See, but you have to be careful because if you spam too much, you can get banned.
It's true.
Yep, they reduced the cooldown on it too. You can spam harder now. It's faster.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, so before it was like nice job. Now it's like nice job.
You know what's funny? Herp is the one who would know that, I guess. You would know that there's a cooldown on the commands.
He's the king at quick chat macros.
Nice job when you're supposed to spam nice job.
Okay. And you make sure they know that they did good. You did really good. Nice job. No. You did so good. You did good. You did it better than the world.
That's right.
Oh, okay. So I mean, like it's kind of funny to see this stuff. I mean, the other thing, and I feel like we hit it a little bit, but maybe we should really just touch it more. EXP and PvP. A lot of people said that this is another doomsday of PvP. Is because people can get EXP now. No one, people who don't care are going to go in there and just AFK. And that we kind of talked about that a little bit. But do you guys feel like if they remove EXP, that would be a positive change for PvP, or it would still be bad because it's taking players away that possibly could get interested in PvP?
No, EXP and PvP, at least for me, right? It's like the greatest thing ever. Like I don't know, man. Like doing fates or grinding the same dungeon like 10 times per job. Like fuck that, dude. Like now I can hop on a job. Like maybe I don't even like the job in PvE, but I like it in PvP.
That's true.
And I can just play Feast. I could play Frontlines, and like while I'm doing something I enjoy, I can also progress the character like by leveling it up.
Yeah.
So I think EXP and PvP should not change, other than like we were saying earlier, like maybe make it more rewarding if you do better.
Right.
Yes. And realistically, I mean, if you look at it, I think I said this before, but if you go into ranked PvP, a lot of people that are there for the EXP, you know what I mean? They're not really going to get far. Like, probably the highest they'll get to is hopefully silver. Hopefully they don't get into gold. But I just don't think they'll really get too far in it. So once you get to the higher tier games, like the diamond level games, I just don't think that's people are going to play for EXP.
Oh yeah, diamond level games is different completely. But the thing is, to get past that, you're probably going to have to at least get to platinum. Because gold still hits bronze, right? So you're still hitting people who accidentally win sometimes.
They could change it up, though, for the new season. We don't know. They might change up the matchmaking.
If there's enough people playing, they might do it rank by rank. Like, you have to be within that one rank instead of in 2 ranks. But I guess it depends on how many people were playing. But right now, I guess there's enough people to play to actually do that, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think it will maintain this momentum at least till 4.1 when season starts.
Well, we're going to see a lot of samurais, and we're going to see a lot of red mages coming up soon, too. Because they're like, I want to play red mage and samurai, but I don't want to level it up the traditional way. And they're just going to PvP with them, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to see them all over. As soon as people are done with rating and Omega 1, Tier 1, we're going to see a lot of these guys coming in here and PvPing with it. And are you guys even remotely excited that Omega Normal is coming out?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
I mean, I'm excited for Savage.
Yeah, of course. But we're actually going to see what it looks like soon.
Yeah, like and actually it's coming up, on Tuesday, right?
Tuesday,
this Tuesday?
in a couple of days.
Yeah,
so
just
it's
a few days.
Super exciting to see that stuff, because I want to see what they can do with it. I don't want to see just a whole bunch of robots, which I'm fairly certain that they figured it out. But like, we'll find out for sure.
I don't know, man. I mean, Omega's a robot, right?
Yeah, but that's what scared me when I saw he was a robot. I was like, don't do it again. But I think that the concept of Omega, and this is complete tangent from PvP, but I'm going to do it anyways. The concept of him is that he goes like between dimensions or something. I don't know. Like, he goes into different rifts, and so there's tons of things that you could bring out with that. Cool. And Herp, he PvEs all the time. You can see him spinning around with all the time. Okay, so I guess I wanna talk a little bit about also the other thing. What was it? It was Feast, EXP, and there was something else that people were really upset about that we didn't mention, but I forgot about it. If I remember it, I'll bring it back up. So let's just go into the next topic here, which is really what we can do, right? How we kind of affect the PvP scene, right? Because the PvP scene is not just Square Enix making a platform and then us going in there and being completely controlled by what they do. We have some choices on our own to actually enjoy it as well. And I mean, I'm saying this only because I'm dealing with people who are very serious into PvP, 2 of which hosted a community-based tournament, right?
Yep.
And so I feel like there's a lot of stuff out there that we still have the ability to have a lot of fun with it, and we shouldn't just be discouraged over simple stuff, because I still think PvP's in a better spot than it was, and it can easily go into a better spot than it is right now. We can still go up that ladder. So let's talk a little bit about what we do first as a community with PvP. First off is our interactions with players. Right now is very limited, right? We can't talk to them. But when we do talk to them, and say you get really pissed off about a match, and you get that inspiration to go out and talk to them, we probably should understand that we shouldn't be just talking shit and telling them they're a horrible person, all right?
Oh.
Do you? No? No, Herp? You got a thought there.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're talking about improvements, right?
Yeah.
And you're talking about chat, right?
Sort of, yeah.
Well, anyways, okay.
Okay.
Real quick, I remember this, like, it just came back to me from, like, literally, like, an hour and a half ago. But this concept about fixing chat in PvP. So, I heard it somewhere. I mean, it has something to do with League of Legends or
okay.
whatever. Anyways, the point is that here's a really good way I think you can fix chat is say, okay, because you're always gonna have those toxic people who are gonna like, oh, nice job, or you're a piece of shit, whatever. Well, if you get reported for like, say you can report somebody for being like immature like that, instead of getting banned, you won't be able to talk in the game. You won't be able to talk in the game.
Right, yeah.
You will get your shitty hot bars back with the freaking things, and then this is all you can do now, if that. For like maybe like a certain amount of games, and after so many reports, then something else will happen. But I think that's a good way, so the people who want to communicate, people who want to contribute correctly, can still, and the people who can't do that, you know what I'm saying, get penalized, and they can. Yeah.
Sure, I kind of understand what you're saying. You have a system out there where people are kind of, if they it looks like they would be people who should talk, they can talk, right? Because
everyone wants to bring the chat back, but it will be exactly the same as season 1. Everyone says, "Oh yes, so we can talk strategy." No, yes, but it will be just as salty and terrible as season 1. Because I was there for season 1 and season 2. It was horrible. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what some people didn't even PvP in the first place. They didn't want to deal with that shit. But if they implement the way, like I said, that would be, oh man, it would be moist as fuck, dude.
Yeah,
so well, it's like League of Legends has something like this, right? Where it's like if you're being a shithead in chat, right? They literally just make it so that you can't chat. Just you. Not everybody, not the whole game, but just you can't chat. And it's like a suspension, right? It's like a certain amount of games you have to play, I think is how League of Legends does it. Or you could do like a certain amount of days. I like the games, right? It's like you have to go in, you have to play 10 ranked matches without chat. Right, you can only use your quick chat options, and then you get it back. And then if you continue to be a shithead, maybe those penalties last longer, or then you get actual actions taken against you. Like I think that is the best system. Yeah,
I like it.
A PvP mentor system of sorts too, right? You could do that to where like you earn a certain place, and then you can start talking to people and have communications. Right or no?
I don't like the mentor system at all. So
okay.
I think so. I do like the whole the mentor system, just not the way that Square Enix has implemented in Final Fantasy. I think the best way to go about that is reaching out to players that are high ranked and maybe on your server, or joining the PvP Team Tryhard Discord and talking in the meta channel, where people are more than willing to answer any question.
Yeah, because I mean, you guys do bring up a good point. If they just completely remove chat, like, what are we going to see? Like, how are we going to see games? Like, what's the effect of that? And do we think it would actually have a positive or negative effect? It'd be positive for people who actually want to play and be serious and have good conversations, but how would it affect everyone who doesn't have that kind of interaction? Be bad, right?
I mean, I've always said, like, if you can't handle people talking shit, you should not be playing a competitive PvP game. Like,
That's true.
So, I mean, it happens in PvE too. Like, if you join a dungeon and you're terrible, people are gonna tell you. They're gonna ask you why you're not holding aggro. They're gonna ask you why you're not DPSing as a healer.
Right.
Or maybe they're not gonna ask you. They're just gonna shit on you for it. Because, like, if you're doing something wrong, like, you can't just live in a little safe box and just have it so that nobody can tell you that you're doing it wrong, right?
Man, I've experienced a lot of toxicity in PvE. Like, with Stormblood coming out, I got a lot more into it, and it's been an adventure. It's been interesting.
Why are you using your cleric stance? I know I don't see it up all the time. It's not up all the time. It should be up all the time now, right? Before it was up all the time with good healers. Now I don't see it anymore. I think all the healers suck now. They don't have their clerics.
Wait, Frosty, I heard you use vitality accessories on tank. I think we should cut this Frosty MogTalk short here. Like,
I do. Right now, I have vitality because I know it's going to change.
It is.
I'm not going to sit there and care about
pussy.
Fuck you.
Just kidding, bro. Just kidding.
Whatever, man. I got my vitality accessories from Lakshmi. Is that how you say your name, right? Yeah. And then
press the button. Press the button. The button.
Exactly.
Chimichanga.
Chimichanga. Oh my god. But yeah, that's right. I do it because I'm like, I don't know. For some reason, I just don't care. It's like, I'll care more once it actually matters, I guess. I guess the ranking boards for FF logs and everything's starting to get active again, and people are starting to get serious about it. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's get back to PvP. Let's get back to PvP.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. So I do want to talk a little bit about the events that we could possibly be doing, and because right now we're a little bit worried and stressed out. When you guys had the Aether Cup, you guys did that with Light Party, right? And good timing.
That's right.
We don't have that anymore. The only way we could do an organized, custom, pre-made 4v4 is if we're on the same server.
Correct.
So, do you guys feel like you'll be able to accomplish these tournaments if they don't bring Light Party back?
Well, we know they're bringing customs back in 4.1, which is assumedly going to be around October. Until then, though, the best we can do is just have everyone make a level 30 alt on a specific server, which shouldn't take too long with the new incentives and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's more of a workaround until 4.1 hits, which is when they bring the customs. But the other issue is it's harder. I mean, even if customs comes out, it's still going to be a bit harder to practice, since the only way to practice right now is if you have 2 teams on the same server, and even then you have to get 8 people together. So
yeah, it sucks having to get the other 4 people to play you.
Definitely.
So it's going to be weird. Good.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely doable though if
are you guys planning to do it?
Kind of. I mean, right now we know everyone's going to be busy with because a lot of the PvPers actually, like Stefan's group, for example, they're all into PvE as well. So once Savage drops, of course, everyone's going to be kind of busy. But yeah, I mean, definitely, we'd like to host another tournament within probably towards the end of next season, of like season 5.
Sounds pretty good. So like maybe before the custom match comes out, I mean, the best way to do it is, again, you could get a level 30 character probably within a few hours if you tried and you went to a new server, or not a new server maybe even, but like
yeah, Stefan actually tried that.
Yeah, I did it in 4.5 hours.
4.5 hours. Yeah. Okay.
You could probably do it faster.
Okay, so I mean, it's possible, and people who are seriously wanting, that could be their entry fee. Make a character on there, and then once you have enough people over there, you can have a custom match, and you can have people who are actually seriously playing against people. So it's still out there. It's still gonna happen. I hope to see it, guys. I really do hope to see it, because again, that was amazing to have that community host. It was higher gameplay than I've seen anywhere else so far.
It was a lot of fun.
So we can still do it. We're gonna do it, and the custom match stuff does look kind of cool. Where you're actually spectator mode, or do you not like it?
Yeah. Well, the only thing I'm kind of glad about is that they actually added something to it.
Yeah.
With Stormblood, and what they added was, now I think you can see like the traits and stuff that they selected and the additional actions. But just the fact that they added something to it in general, like it could have been anything, but the fact that they updated anything with it, is like a good sign. It's better than nothing, because it means that at least they're still considering that that feature of the game.
Right.
And because they delayed the release of cross-server customs, it could mean that Light Party might be coming back in the future, like maybe in 4.1 or after 4.1, because again, they did update customs, so we don't know. As of right now, the official word is that it's gone. But until then, until 4.1, all we can do is speculate.
Okay. So I guess the other part here is we have opinions and we have a lot of thoughts. So we should probably still be expressing those thoughts, right? In ways that Square Enix can see that there are issues, right? Tell me a bad way to express your thoughts to SE, Herp.
Herp is the perfect one to ask.
Yeah. Give me an example, Herp.
Freaking dig macros, never a good idea.
That's right.
Dick. Okay.
That's how you get banned.
Yeah. You have very good experience with it, I do know. Yeah. Well, King has some experience too, so it's just, you guys are like, you got some friends there in the same boat. Okay. Mateo, give me an example.
Honestly, just going about it. There's a lot of wrong ways to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
You could be like, this fucking sucks. Like, kill yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think we should be proactive. You know what I mean? Like, okay, hey, this job needs a little bit of a tweak. Like, would you mind looking at this? Like, being really civil when it comes to it. Like, if we want Light Party back, for example, we should make a good case for it. Maybe make even a spreadsheet of certain changes we want to see. Like the patrolling issues when it comes to like policing issues. Like, those are just examples of some of the issues, right? That are there. But just being civil and good natured, really. No salt involved, no sodium.
Yeah. So I'll do it. All right, guys, here we go.
Okay.
All right, man. Square Enix, bunch of fucking idiots that don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to make a game. All they do is they take away Feast Chat. Feast Chat was the only reason that you should even do PvP. They're fucking a whole bunch of people that over there. They think PvP is like this side program that they work on. It's just like, hey guys, we got PvP, and they're just stupid retards, and they don't have any idea what the hell's going on with a game at all. They focus on stuff that doesn't matter, like hairstyles. They rather do a hairstyle than do another people. See. Let's stop that, all right?
You sound like somebody I know, actually.
Really? Good.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
So, but no, seriously, that's stupid. Like, come on, guys. Do you really think that Square Enix doesn't give a shit about building on this game and being successful? I mean, they make mistakes. They do things that are kind of test the water, but I don't think that it's that dire and that's so bad that people are over there just like saying, I don't care about PvP, let's get this new hairstyle out. I mean, I don't think that's this case, guys.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Sorry, Stefan. I'm gonna be honest with you. For a while, a lot of my close friends that are really into PvP were of the mindset. We were of the mindset like, hey, what they're kind of doing with PvP is like set it and forget it. Okay. So I guess you could say that's kind of a negative outlook, but in some cases it felt true. You know what I mean? Like Machinist between the dick. That was too strong, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Herp. Things like that. I just if they really want to make it successful, they really need to keep updating and balancing and asking our feedback. Right. Because the players are really the core of this. Like they make the metas and they really play the game like to a really extensive degree, and we know a lot of things that they might not. I know Yoshi Pete said he doesn't trust anybody, but PvPers are really passionate people when it comes to the game mode. So
and assholes too.
Yeah, I mean
they can be, yeah, but so can PvE players. I mean, like everybody's
sure.
an asshole everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you shouldn't punish PvP players for something that everyone's doing everywhere in the game anyways.
Here's what I don't want to happen. I don't want it to go the way of like, I'm going to just quotations mini game status. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like there should be PvE and there should be PvP. They should both be these fluid things like, hey, you like PvE? Yeah, you know what? But actually I'm here to play PvP. I don't really care about PvE. Like Herp, right? He's not really interested in PvE.
Support the Herps.
Yeah, man. But if you want to play both, that's cool too, right? Like that's a but it shouldn't really be like, hey, here's a I don't know, chocobo racing, which is cool, but yeah, I just think it should be pretty fleshed out. It should be that's funny.
And it looks like they're doing that. It looks like they're trying to make a direction to where they can do it. I feel like they got caught up into something that was a lot bigger than they could handle with all the abilities and trying to balance things out properly within the last season. I feel like they simplified it, not just for us, but for themselves. You guys feel that I'm right? You tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Like, hopefully this will make it easier for them, but that remains to be seen. We haven't seen any adjustments yet, but
I mean, yeah, it's been a couple of weeks.
They'll be coming sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, we should speak to Square Enix and we should put our points out there. but we just have to make sure that when we're doing it, we don't sound like a brain dead child. That sounds kind of bad. I mean, that sounds horrible.
Honestly,
I don't know why. Go
the best way Square Enix can improve PvP, and I mean like the best way, more than anything else, is just to be involved in the community, to have communication. Because like without that, you know, all of the suggestions that we're even saying on the show, we're just talking to a brick wall. You know what I mean? Like it's they need to be involved, and this has been an issue since, you know, I mean, pretty much since PvP was first released. There's just not enough communication, and I think now more than ever, because they have shown some interest, they've shown increased interest in PvP that they have before, like bringing out this whole new system, this and that, saying that they want to make it more accessible. They have to be involved more, and I think if they get involved more, and if they start hosting, you know, their own in-house events, you know, like the Aether Cup is great as something we can do as a community, but if they also hosted their own in-house stuff too, that would increase excitement. It would increase enthusiasm. I think it would make people more devoted to increasing their skills as a player in PvP, because they have something to work towards. Just like all that stuff, you know, they really have to get involved more, I think, is the biggest thing.
Okay. And hopefully it'll happen. That's what I'm hoping for, and I encourage it. And we'll see where PvP goes from like here, but I feel like we're now at a good starting point to go forward, and they're not trying to make PvE into PvP. They're trying to make PvP into its own thing, and it seems like they've put a lot of work into it. I mean, there, of course, we can all say, oh, well, they could have done more work, right? They could have done more, but it feels like they've done more work into PvP than anything else outside of PvE.
That was
right?
a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think my thing here, right? I appreciate the work that they've done so far. I think what they need to do moving forward is make smart decisions. So, and they have to make frequent changes too. So a big problem with the old system that I hope doesn't carry over now that they're giving it some attention is that they would change something, it would be broken, and they wouldn't fix it ever for like years. Like I'm looking at the grand company restrictions, right? 2 years it took them to fix that shit. Like that is inexcusable. Like you will lose players permanently if they don't stay on top of stuff. Yeah,
I agree. All right, you guys ready for? We just have a couple of questions we can go over if you guys are ready for them.
Sure.
All right. Okay, this is kind of a general question, but we'll go ahead and ask this out here. Sin next. I don't heal often, but I know how to do it PvE side. How is healing in PvP? Whoever wants to take it.
I can take this, I guess, since I do both, and I'm like the healer main.
Okay.
It's a lot harder. It is harder, at least the old system. It was harder than anything else you'll ever do in the game, probably. So imagine your PvE raid healing, except the damage happens to different targets every time, and the intensity of the healing is like, I don't know. It happens. It's way more intense. Like you have to map every single GCD, like with split-second timing. Because the fight just changes over and over. Like I don't know. Like it's really, really hard.
I mean,
I think, however, with this new system, it's easier to get into now. So
I think it's a lot easier to get into. It was super intimidating before, and that is a huge fix that they did, which will increase the PvP queues for Feast. Or like reduce the queue time. Is what I mean. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I was learning healing towards the end of the season 4, in like light party and things like that, and there's so many decisions that actually go into that. As a white mage, you had like 3 forms of CC. You had your slow, you have your bind, you have your sleep. I think that's it, right? And then of course you have your hots, you have your regions, you have you had a lot to actually kind of keep track of. It's a lot different now, and it's actually, I don't know if it's more enjoyable, but it's a lot easier to get into, and I would really suggest
way more enjoyable, I think.
You think so?
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Although, I'm stay Paladin, but I'm going to level up other jobs while I'm doing all this other stuff. Paladin's kind of interesting to play. I feel like I'm trying to still find where my niche is with that, because they can be really defensive. They can do a lot of really cool things to still save people. But at the same time, they can do some really, really awesome stuff to actually, I guess, I love how Herb just zooms up. I saw him saying he was going to be right back, but just like that. But they can do some really interesting things with how they tackle the match. Like you have CC focus, you have a little bit of extra damage focus, and you got to figure out how to get your mana back. And if you're going to use your mana on healing, or you're going to use your mana on silencing, or what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like there's a interesting bit to how Paladin plays right now, which is not too far off where it was before. I mean, it feels like there's less, but I mean it's not that much less. If that's weird. Do you guys feel like I'm crazy for saying that? They took out a lot of stuff that I didn't care about.
Yeah, it still fulfills pretty much the same role.
Yeah. But now I can actually go into all the different jobs and play them. So good for me. Oh God, what were we on? We were on healing. Okay, so healing right now, I feel like the best example is that if you figure out healing in PvE, you always can do the same thing. And everyone figures out the fight, you can always do the same thing. But if you are healing in PvP, you're facing a different boss every single time. The boss is doing different attacks every single time. The reason I say that is because the melee does something different. They react in a different way. The range will react in a different way. They have general ideas of what they will do and their goals, but the players are different. And so you're facing different setups every single time. You're not facing the exact same move set as you would a PvE boss. Do you guys agree? Or
it's very dynamic. It's constantly changing. I agree.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I actually really enjoy PvP so much, because once you kind of go into PvE, you have these scripted fights where you're like, okay, hey, I know Stefan. I was doing a trial with him a couple times this week, and he was saying, hey, I keep the music on because I know what mechanic is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really kind of cool. You try that shit in the feast. You try that in PvP.
I know what kind of mechanic. People start booing. Oh, it's about to go down.
Good luck, man. Like that's true. That's true. So I mean, it's that ever changing dynamic. That's environment. You need a lot of awareness, and it's really challenging, and that's why a lot of us play it. So.
Yeah. All right. Next question here is Third Child. I was in a match, so I'm late to say it, but if they were to add scrolling text that tells you both how many medals you gain when you pick up and how much vulnerability percentage you have, would that help with the medal issue? So basically, every time you get a medal, I guess, it'll pop up. So you have this many medals, and this is how many debuffs you have. It just pops up and throws it in your face real quick.
Maybe. I feel like the amount of people it would reach is very, very few. Because the type of people that would actually read and process the information given to them in the scrolling text, why wouldn't you just read the tooltip? Like, if you want to know what something does, you'll put forth the effort to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I think anyway.
I agree. I mean, one thing they could do, which might look a little tacky, I'm not sure how else would turn out, would be, adding, like making it clear maybe on the scoreboard or on like another or on like a brand new UI window, like that's just medal count and just, how much vulnerability you have.
Yeah, well, I mean, like on the scoreboard, people don't pay attention to that either.
Yeah,
some people turn it off.
On up.
Yeah, I mean, like nine times out of 10, if I open up a feast stream, I don't think anyone has, like, they don't have the scoreboard open.
I keep it open though, but I keep it
that's
small.
Good. It should be like mandatory. Like, you shouldn't be able to close it.
Yeah.
So that everyone knows for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if maybe they could add a filter in there, and every time you get like another vulnerability buff, you get like a darker red like outline around your screen, and then you're just like, holy crap, I'm in a very red mode. Yeah. I got 10 stacks. Maybe you don't see anything. It's just blood red at that point. And it's just like,
oh my god. Not to sound like elitist or anything, but I feel like that would take away from the integrity of the game.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion.
What a fucking snob.
You know what? I just think, like, hey, every time somebody dies, you see exactly in the chat, like, how many medals that they dropped. You know, unless you need your calculator right next to you, whatever.
I mean, that's part of the
I don't know.
skill. Yeah, I think that like you can
Right.
throw that in as part of the PvP skill, but
I mean, I don't want to get too much into it, but I still think the best option is just to remove the heavy metals. Like, just get rid of it.
nah, nah.
Bring back fold.
Yeah, bring back fold. Take metals out of the game.
Different
delete
mode,
feast.
man. Different mode. Okay. So, Luvu, what do you guys think about level 30s taking longer to break boxes than level 6?
He's trolling. He's trolling.
Come on, Luvu. Come on, dude. Dude. Whatever, man. All right. Zad, question for Stefan. How do you feel about raid leaders who are late to heal trials because they're on MogTalk?
Yeah, Stefan.
That was actually last time I was on. It
Was
was
it?
like, yeah.
Whatever, man. They'll be okay. They understand.
They were pretty pissed.
Well, that'd be fine. Actually, I think I remember that. I was like, let's keep going for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, last question here. Mimiwa, he wants to know if it's moist.
NA out.
Out. Oh my God. Well, where did NA out come from? Where did it even start?
That garbage ass that garbage ass data center. The one that uses warriors and shit. What the hell? I'm calling you guys out, man.
Oh, Jesus.
Except I'm on chaos now. Whatever.
It's like the chaos. Like, I need some friends, so they're gonna go like talk to Aether now, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
for real.
what is that? Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Come on,
Right.
man.
It's funny though. I don't know.
Playmobil wants to know, Mateo, are you going to face cam for S5 season 5?
Yes, I am.
I'm
I'm half black, half Filipino, so I gotta do it.
Are you? I thought, you know, I guess your picture it comes out a little bit there.
Yeah, it's the lighting. You can't really tell.
Oh God. Yeah, the lighting is what makes me so white, right, Stefan? That's your lighting too.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
We're ghost.
Just the lighting.
Okay. Gray BL. What do you guys consider to be, in your opinion, the tier list for classes in PvP? Is there any that are like the worst versus ones that are great? I mean, I don't know if we have like a good tier list out there.
I got this. I can take this one.
Okay, Stefan.
So I'll do it by roles, right? So we'll start with tanks, right? Dark Knight and Paladin, I think, are pretty much equal, right?
Okay.
And then they're the A tier, right? They're at the top. All the way at the bottom, on the other end of the spectrum, is Warrior. Warrior is just dog shit. Like in the spectrum of all the jobs, you should never play a Warrior. Like, it is by and far the worst. Like, the absolute worst.
Does it not do a lot of damage?
No, like it does like the same as the Paladin and the Dark Knight.
It's the same, yeah.
Oh man.
The Tomahawk's like a minute. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, and it doesn't have a stun.
Okay.
Then when we're looking at the healers, I'd say Scholar and White Mage are pretty equal. The White Mage does more healing and has like better defense, but like Scholar has Broil. Like, Broil is like the most retarded move they've ever added to the game.
If you want to be an offensive healer, you go Scholar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have Astro, which I think is like, if Scholar and White Mage are like A tier, Astro's like C tier. Like, it's not awful, but it just does not do enough. Like, it's really, really weak when you compare it to the other two.
Okay.
And then if you look at the melee, you have Dragoon at the way top, and then like Samurai under that, and then actually, I don't know. I'd put Monk up there with Dragoon, and then Samurai under that, and then Ninja at the bottom, sort of like back to back.
Oh, poor Herp.
Sorry. Ninjas just don't burst as hard as the Monks and Dragoons. Then for the physical ranged, I think Bard is better than Machinist. It bursts a little bit harder once you line it up. It's a little harder to line it up though. And then for the casters, definitely Black Mage at the top, and then Red Mage, and then Summoner.
Would you guys all agree with what Stefan just said?
Yeah.
I think for the ranged, for the casters, I actually think they're all fairly equal. right now because Black Mage is like it's so with the 10-second DR now, like you can just CC them to hell, and the healer can just be running around the pillar the entire time.
Yeah, but if you CC the healer in those 3 seconds, you can cast a Fire 4 and then Swift Cast Convert Foul. And that's like 8,000 damage.
If you're not being silenced or stunned or you're being unmended by the Dark Knight.
Okay.
So
true enough.
All right, Mateo.
Just want to note that Summoner is still C class. Shout out to Angelus. No, I'm just kidding. No, I agree.
Okay.
I haven't really played caster, so I can't really comment much. But
I've only played 3 jobs right now, so I've got to make my way around everything.
Yeah, I mean, I will admit too, casters I have played the least, so I'm probably very wrong, but I'm pretty confident in at least, the tanks and healers. Definitely, there's no way I'm wrong there.
Okay. Then is Machinist shit? Lulin asks. No, they're okay.
No.
They're good.
No, well,
they're easy to play too.
Yeah, Machinist right now I think is the strongest frontlines class in the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Like I think Nex picked it up. Like in his first game playing Machinist, he did like 600,000 damage, which I've never seen before.
Like 30 kills,
doing flips and shit.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh my god, I gotta say, like going in and being heated up on a Machinist is a wonderful feeling, but as soon as you lose it, it is the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah,
because it's like you're on like some crazy trance, like laser shooting everywhere. You're like, I'm amazing, and then all of a sudden, like reality kicks in. And you're like, oh, at my back to my work job, and you're just getting back there so you can rave again, right? That's all it is.
That's a good point, actually.
That's what it feels like. Okay. Wapster, how do you feel about the future Frontline we have based on the information on siege weapons and still being large scale instead of 8v8 capture to flag god tier? I think that was CTF god tier. Yeah, maybe.
I think his question is, would you prefer capture the flag over the thing that we're getting soon? I would say yeah. I think CTF is like the classic PvP mode, right? For any game. As far as how I feel about the siege mode, I don't know. Riding around in brute justice sounds retarded and awesome at the same time. I honestly have to wait and see.
I'm ready for it, dude. I love siege mode. It's my favorite thing. I love getting into like a robot or getting into something, right? And just using its abilities and being like, I don't have to be good at my job. I just gotta be good at these 4 little abilities I got on my robot and just beating things up and being amazing.
Have you ever played World of Warcraft, Frosty?
Yeah.
Okay, did you play Strand of the Ancients?
All the time. I'd get that catapult as soon as I could, man. Not a doubt.
You like Strand of the Ancients?
I didn't care what job I'm playing. I don't care what I'm supposed to do. I'd get in the catapult, start shooting those doors out, and just like going as hard as I can. Because it was fun to me, man. I don't know. Or I'd get in the cannon, and I'd start shooting the cannon at the siege machines. I love it, dude. That's why I love Machinists, because it's like dealing with little robots and everything else, and I feel like, I don't know. Siege is going to bring that back, especially with brute justice. Okay, Yiching, question to King. How do you think healing is even harder than before in Feast now? Considering even 1 second CC would be enough to kill you or tanks taking damage from any other role. So do you feel like healing is harder right now than it was before?
Yeah, so like I said, it's easier to do at a low level, but you can do less with it. It's like, yeah, before you could get stunned, 1 second killed, but you could do things like attune, you could put down Sacred Prism, you could CC. So, like, for example, on White Mage, yeah, maybe I see the tank coming over to stun me. Well, I could swift cast Sleep the Machinist, or, Fluid the Monk that's also running at me at that split second, so that while I'm CC'd, at least I don't have people, like, everybody on me at once. And of course, you had extra tools like attunement, like Sacred Prism. You had more in your kit to protect yourself, whereas now you are extremely reliant on your tank. So, like, if you get stunned, you need cover, you need Blackest Night, and that kind of sucks, right? Because, like, you can just do less as a healer. Like, you can't really CC either. Like, the closest thing I think to CC is probably Broil from Scholar. I know that's going to sound weird, but sort of like your way of being able to shut people down before they can do something.
You know what I think is actually kind of interesting is how lilies work with white mages in PvP, and understanding what you need more and getting the proper cooldowns off of certain things so you can react better and you adjust your playstyle to that too, which is really, really interesting that I think a lot of people won't grasp, and that's going to be part of the skill base.
I thought that too.
So I'm going to see how that works out. I'm kind of excited for white mage and how it's going to turn out going forward. But I don't know about the other healers. I just know I get tired of seeing Uncle Acid fucking broil me, and that's it.
You know what it feels like? Actually, it feels a lot more reactive, whereas before it felt a lot more proactive. Just like Stefan was saying, you know, it's like, hey, there's somebody coming at me, I'm gonna fluid aura or whatever. Now it's like, oh, you see a limit break coming up, just pop safeguard, and there's like a bunch of his damage and that kind of thing.
Which the point I want to make with that is that this game is not coded to be reactive. If you try to react to something, you're fucking dead.
I don't know. Like, I feel like there's some things you can, but there's some things like that the animation lock screws with a lot of stuff, like you were saying before.
Yeah.
Dude, I had to buy a new monitor because this I was using my limit break as a monk, and this guy, like, I was half done my bar. This guy used safeguard. It took off like 2,000 damage or something. I'm like, fuck this, and I just threw on my monitor.
That's why no one can see adrenaline.
No, I'm kidding.
I can
but
imagine
yeah, that could happen. Yeah. Before it was like, hey, you want to use your rampart, whatever you want to use, like, there's no way. There's no way. I just feel like these skills maybe go off faster.
Right.
Yeah. There's.
Go ahead.
I was going to say there's still the one thing of, and I'm not sure how it works on the back end, but to me it seems like damage is calculated before healing. So like, I don't think it feels really bad. I think we can all agree that it feels really bad if a heal goes off, right? Say you even use Lustrate, which doesn't really have an animation delay. You use your Aetherflow stack, but the person still dies. Why does that happen, right? Why is that a thing? If I expend the resource, I should get the product of that, right? Like the heal should happen.
Right. No, I
there shouldn't be a delay there.
I've been feeling it all my life with Hallowed Ground, dude. So don't worry about it. It's still not gone. Cleanse has another question here, and I think everybody kind of hasn't tried it, but the question is, has anyone tried Light Party Customs? If so, how different is it?
I haven't tried it.
No.
Nope.
I don't think there's been enough. Like, everyone's so excited about the PvE stuff except for Herp, right? And going through and getting through Stormblood right now, and just now kind of digging in pretty deep in the Feast and seeing kind of how solo Feast is. I don't think too many people have done organized events with, or any kind of organization with 4v4 at the moment, which I'm excited to see that actually happen, but it's going to take some planning. Without
not just that, but everybody left Balmung.
Good.
All the PvPers. Half of them are gone.
You guys need to like have quicker queues, right? I mean, like right now, 5,000 queue to get in there.
They're actually fixed now.
I heard it's
better. Yeah, they're pretty fixed.
Because they kick people out, right?
Prime time. Yesterday, at least.
Yeah, I had a 2,000 queue today, right after the reset, so like 4 o'clock Eastern, and it was still a 2,000 queue that took 30 minutes. So that's not nearly as bad as it was.
Oh wow, if that's not bad, then you're doing good.
Yeah,
I feel bad for how it was.
I DC'd last night. I think you were there, Stefan, at like prime time on Friday night, and I logged back in and there was no queue. Like, oh my god, is this real life?
Feels good that there are queues, to be honest with you. I don't know. I like the fact that we have enough players in there that we have to consider something like that.
Balmung's always had a queue. I don't remember the last time. Like, you can bypass it by clicking cancel and then relogging, but I mean, it's had like a person in queue prompt, I think, for like 2 years or something, at least.
Well, geez, I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
But okay. Frostion, and we'll answer these last two questions here. Frostion, do you think Astro would be stronger if they can chain Benefic 1 like the tool tips suggest? Do you guys have experience with that?
Like, if it would just keep instant casting over and over as long as you were using Benefic 1? I mean, that would replace, I think, in a way, the expected Benefic feel of the class. I don't think that it would fix the issues, but I think that would be like half of a fix. Like, I think that would give back the old feeling of Astro being that annoying healer that just runs around in circles.
Oh my god.
The pillars. Run around the pillars.
Personally, I think it just needs a new ability. It needs another ability. Like either expand on the card system and bring it, like it was before, or like it is in PvE, or just it needs something. It just feels like it's missing at an ability or two, in my opinion.
Okay.
I agree.
All right, one last question for Yiting. Do you also also, what do you think healers don't have? Wait a minute. Also, what do you think healers don't have AoE heals anymore, except a size? What do you feel about them not having AoE heals, I guess, anymore? It feels like a nightmare when there's split damage going on in Feast. Do you guys feel the same thing?
Well, I think they made it. I think they did that because they want people to die. They want it to be more faster paced. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and White Mage is amazing with AoE healing, I think, right now. I don't know. I use the size. The size is amazing.
It's the best of the three. White Mage right now for AoE. I think Astro's also okay too, because it has the permanent Sinistry, which is interesting. But of course, you have to be thoughtful with how you use it. Scholar has like no sort of split healing at this point, so you really have to be fast with like who you use lustrates on, or like quickly targeting between your party members.
Okay.
For real.
Oh my god, fucking Herp. You're gonna lose that chair. It's just gonna break, dude. You're just like, I expect you to like turn so many times that it like unscrews itself or something, you just fall over. Oh Jesus. All right, well I feel like that's pretty good for what we went over with all the questions and everything else. I appreciate you guys asking them. I appreciate you guys answering them. And I feel like we had a decent discussion today. We talked about a lot of points that needed to be talked about. And I hope that we can have these discussions even almost like every month. Like I feel like Feast is something that we could talk about like every single month with the updates, especially with the evolving meta and everything else that's happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think next time we talk, after the season starts, and once we see, at the higher levels of play, especially, the class balance and the new meta, there'll definitely be a lot more to talk about. Also, of course, if they when they start adding in, hopefully soon, job adjustments and class balance changes before the season.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
And likely we'll see that stuff hopefully within the next 2 weeks. Is what I'm thinking.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal, because they usually do it around Savage time, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Usually the season starts when the Savage patch comes.
No.
Which isn't the best timing, because people might be distracted with that.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, so closing statements here. +1, you have any closing statements that you'd like to do?
Closing statements.
Closing statements, man. Closing shoutouts, closing anything.
Definitely check out the Aether Cup if you haven't already.
Okay.
I know I said that last time I was here, but I think it's interesting also just to see what the highest level of play was in 3.0, like back in Heaven's Ward. We have a recording up of like the entire tournament we did, which you can check out at twitch.tv/AetherCup. And of course, we're gonna plan to host another one, hopefully by the end of this new season that should be starting soon.
Yo, let me shoutcast the prelims, dude.
That would be fun.
Oh yeah,
It'd be amazing.
And other than that, you can check out some of my music at +the1.com. And that's about it.
I need to check out your music. Maybe I need a new intro theme, dude.
Hell yeah.
Can you work with me on that? Yeah?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. All right. Stefan, do you have any shout-outs you want to do? Or any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. I guess to round up everything we discussed today, PvP is going in the right direction, but we as a community and Square Enix as the company that made it need to work together to make it better. shoutouts. Shoutouts to the Aether PvP community. Shoutouts to Marshall Renew, who works on pvpaisa.com. If you guys are new to PvP, I suggest you check out the website. In the next few weeks, we're going to have some guides up there for the new systems. We've been it's been kind of crazy with like the new expansions, so we haven't really gotten to do anything yet. And also shout out to my FC Rare X, and that's it.
Excellent. All right. Just because it's going to be hard to follow up Herp. Mateo, would you like to do any closing thoughts? Or
do you remember the last time you had me do shoutouts?
Go on, dude.
Okay, cool. Honestly, closing thoughts. Stefan really nailed it. I really agree. I think as a community, we shouldn't really give up on it, per se. I know you started the show off with it, really. There's a lot of positive and there's a lot of negative. Mm-hmm. Some people are washing their hands clean of it. It doesn't mean they won't come back. But ultimately, I think we should all just kind of try our best to stay positive and find out the meta and everything like that. And just keep trying to push forward and communicate with Square Enix. In terms of shoutouts, I have a couple of people that I actually do want to shout out, if you don't mind.
Sure, yeah.
First of all, actually, a few of us actually just moved to Caxar. So I need to give a shout out to the FC. Yeah, to the FC that welcomed us. It actually belongs to Angelus Demonus.
Okay.
It's Heavenistic Chaos. So thank you guys for taking us in. Really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, a bunch of my friends as well that came with me. So one of my closest friends from there would be Airwaver. And then a couple more.
It sounds like Herp is transferring.
Yeah, he's there as well. Shout out to General Asidesu, Kirigaya, Next Cross, Last Boss, Ice Phoenix as well for coming with us. I mean, there's so many shout outs. It's a long show. Maximus, Angelus again, J Park, Sin. Anyway,
okay.
I could go on, but yeah, thank you for sure.
There you go. Herp, you ready?
Okay.
Come on, Herp.
All right. I just want to say shout out to first of all, I'm gonna start with Marshall. All the new PvPers out there, hey, stay moist. All the future healers out there, when season 5 comes out, God bless you. I want to shout out to also everyone who stayed on Balmung and who waited it out. Yo, I told you the promised land was coming. And then I want Corey who? And last but not least, Scarecrow, my favorite. Stay moist, my friend. Yeah.
Nice.
Very good, Herp. Very good, dude. Guys, thank you all for watching. Thank you guys for being on the show. I hope we can do more, and then we can get a lot more conversation going on about the meta and how it's going to be evolving. I feel like I'm going to be more knowledgeable, hopefully, by the next time too, because my goal is, again, to play as many jobs as I can, dive in, kind of see how players are reacting and what we can do in these feast matches. I do, so some of you may have noticed I haven't really streamed outside of MogTalk in quite a while. I think it's been like months almost now at this point. But I am probably going to start dedicating at least one day a week. It may not be the same day, but at least getting a day out every single week with doing some sort of PvP streaming. And then we'll go back to the same stuff that we were doing before. Hopefully tomorrow. Nice. We'll get into this, and then I'll see how it turns out, and if it turns out like I think it is, which is just me having fun and sitting there looking at previous matches and messing around, and now I have more access to more matches because I can play more jobs. So there you go, guys.
Bring the man back.
Yeah. God. Okay. So, but I plan to do that. So if you guys want to look out for that, and we will be live doing that. So, God, it's gonna be. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it, to be honest with you. All right, well, guys, thank you very much for watching the show. Next week, we is kind of maybe don't know for sure on the show. The Warriors, not the Warrior show, the Tank show.
The Warrior show.
The Tank show is going to be in a couple of weeks. I believe we have a couple people like Zeno coming on board, a few other people coming on to talk about tanks. And then next week is a little bit in the air for what it's going to be, but stay tuned. Follow the Twitter if you guys want to know for sure what's happening. Guys, We're going to roll the credits, and we're going to do a host of somebody. Thank you for watching. Remember to be good, keep cool, and stay frosty. Everybody say bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
See ya. See ya.
Stay moist. Yes, mate.
Okay.